to be a close race.
And Democratic Congresswoman Haley Stevens is right now trailing Progressive Abdul El-Sayed by about 1 percentage point. He's backed by socialists.
We have a responsibility to assure that we unite to make sure that Mike Rogers never sees the inside of the U.S. Senate.
Rogers is the Republican running for that seat, now held by a retiring Democrat. And two progressives have done well in Michigan House races.
Donovan McKinney, who's backed by the Democratic Socialists of America, is leading incumbent Sri Thanadar by about 3 percentage points in the Democratic primary for the 13th congressional district. The race has split Democrats. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries backs Thanadar as progressives support McKinney. Sunrise Movement co-founder William Lawrence clinched the Democratic nomination for the state's 7th congressional district. Lawrence beat two establishment Democrats.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. Progressive lost to Missouri. Ex-Congresswoman Cori Bush failed in her attempt to win back a House seat, losing to incumbent Wesley Belmont with more than 20 points. Voters in Missouri also said no to a ballot question to phase out the state income tax. A Republican Congressman, Chuck Edwards, has just announced early this morning in a post on X he's ending his re-election campaign in North Carolina, after the House Ethics Committee had recommended Edwards be censured over sexual harassment allegations. The talks continue with Iran, trying to get oil and other shipping flowing again through the Strait of Hormuz. Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
President Trump indicated that a deal with Iran could happen as early as today. Speaking with Fox News, the president said that talks took place all day on Tuesday and that things are looking very good. He told Trace Gallagher what will happen if the Iranians back out of this agreement.
Well, if they back out again, they're going to get hit really hard. You know, they know that. They understand that.
America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG, heading for a high of 97, could feel as hot as 102. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 6:08. It is 72 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Galena, 77 in Joplin, AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, and on your smart speaker, News Talk, KZRG. 4 and 5 failed. Missouri voters sent a strong message last night rejecting both Amendments 4 and 5 by wide margins. 4 would have created the nation's most difficult standard for citizen-led initiatives to change the state constitution. 5 would have phased out the individual income tax and would have allowed lawmakers to expand the sales tax to any goods or service and given them 5 years to determine how to do that. Governor Mike Kehoe, who had strongly supported both amendments, said the outcome would not end efforts on the issues.
Jill Carter, Roger Koch, Thomas Ross, Brendan Kelly. Those are the winners in a few big local legislative races that News Talk KZRG followed for you last night. Mike Roberts defeated Teresa Kennedy to be the next Jasper County prosecuting attorney. Jasper County saw a turnout of about 26% of registered voters, slightly above what County Clerk Charlie Davis had previously predicted.
Ty Masterson or Cindy Holscher. That's who Kansas will have to choose from for their next governor. Democrat Laura Kelly is term limited, so voters will have to pick a new state leader. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310, 77 at 604, FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk, KZRG.
Missouri's top election official has rejected a citizen's petition seeking a statewide referendum on new congressional districts.
Republican Secretary of State Denny Hoskins says the petition is unconstitutional because congressional redistricting plans can't be subject to voter referendums. Supporters of the referendum submitted hundreds of thousands of signatures to force a November election based on a new House map approved by the Republican-led legislature. The new map used in Tuesday's primaries reshapes the Kansas City-based 5th Congressional District held by longtime Democratic Congressman Emanuel Cleaver by stretching it into rural central Missouri to give it a Republican slant. Republicans already hold 6 of Missouri's 8 congressional seats. A group backing the referendum says it will challenge Hoskins' decision in court. Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
A big maintenance project underway on 2nd Street in Joplin. News Talk KZRG Steve Smith has more.
If you're thinking about driving on the Vernon Sigers Viaduct that links East Town to downtown Joplin, you'll need to make other plans. The bridge closed to all traffic on Monday of this week to allow crews to complete repairs to the bridge's critical expansion joints. The bridge is closed now to vehicular and pedestrian traffic for the duration of the project. Detour signs are up. The viaduct is expected to reopen on Friday, August 14th. Steve Smith, News Talk, KZRG.
The Royals were winners last night, according to Joe Morgan.
Bobby Witt Jr. made a massive splash in his return to the Kansas City lineup last night. Witt picked up 3 hits and drove in 2 to power the Royals past the Minnesota Twins 8-2. Kansas City looks to keep that momentum going in Game 3 tonight with first pitch set for 6:40. Over in New York, a dream debut for George Lombard Jr. The rookie crushed a home run in his very first big league game, lifting the Yankees over the St. Louis Cardinals 2-0. Those two teams run it back tonight at 6:05. Catch the action on AM 1230 The Talker. And in football news, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has been staying in closer contact with the team during training camp. However, there's still no clear timetable for his return to the sidelines following the shooting of his wife at their Virginia home. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
It's free at your app store. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news at 6:30. Breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast this morning. Mainly dry weather, maybe a passing shower, thunder shower. Into the afternoon, some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise hotter and humid, upper 90s with the heat index just over 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
The stations of Zimmer Marketing reach 95% of Jasper and Newton counties. When your business has something to say, Zimmer is where you say it. Your customers are listening. Will they hear you? Zimmer Marketing. It just works.
KZRG Storm Tracker Radar showing a couple of very, very isolated, very, very small showers this morning, mostly in Jasper County. It's 72 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Baxter Springs, 77 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time going on 6:08.
Tyler's has the carpet you've been looking for. Your complete floor covering store.
Okay, class. Today we're going to talk about what you'd like to be when you grow up. Remember, this is America, 1973. You can be anything that you want. Ron, how about you go first?
That's easy. When I grow up, I want to be a chief carpetologist.
A chief carpetologist? What is that?
That's someone who every day helps people have the floors of their dreams in their homes and businesses. And I get to use a tape measure and a hammer too.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Fast forward to the present, and here I am, an actual real-life chief carpetologist at Tyler's Carpet in Neosho. And 6-year-old me was right. Every day we do help people in the 4 states get the beautiful new hardwood, carpet, or vinyl flooring in their home or business that truly stands out and exceeds their expectations. Come see us today for all your flooring needs at Tyler's Carpet in Neosho, and remember, keep the chief in mind.
Carpetologist, that is.
Hey, want a free checking account from Community Bank and Trust?
Free? Yeah, right. What's the catch?
Well, there's no catch.
There is always a catch. I bet there's a minimum balance requirement.
Nope, there absolutely.
Good morning, everybody. Girl Chris, good morning to you. Austin, let's go! I know you were, Austin, remind me here, you were rooting no on 4 and 5 or just on 5, sir? Which one was it? Was it both or was it just one or the other? Because I remember you were voicing some issues with it. By the way, the issues you voiced, Austin, were the same issues I had. So I appreciate you being willing to voice them. But yeah, both failed. We're going to be getting into it. Sarisa, hello. Happy whatever day it is. Wednesday.
It's the day after elections.
Wednesday, more like whatever day it is.
No, it's Wednesday.
That's true. By the way, the AC went out on my truck. Again? Dude, you're cooked, bro.
Literally.
It sucks.
2 things matter most. 1, that it works. And 2,
you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, I want to let my audience do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and I'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Jim wrote in, he said he ran out of Relief Factor twice. Both times his ache and stiffness and pain came back. Once he restarted, he said, I felt better again. As Jim puts it, you know something's working when you run out of it. Jim, I can tell you that's exactly, I mean, I didn't run out of it. I just thought, my wife made me take it. I'm like, it's not going to work. And then I started feeling better, and I was like, well, I did my 3 weeks. I'm feeling better, but it's just me. I'm in a good spot. I stopped taking it, and it all came rushing back. That's how I appreciate what Relief Factor does, and it could change your life. They make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor helped you tackle your daily aches and pain. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Call 1-800-4RELIEF. Get the 3-week quick start, $17.76. 1-800-4RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us.
The latest is always heard on News Talk KZRG. Broadcasting from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio, this is News Talk KZRG. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Wednesday morning, just after 6:10, it's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG, post-election morn Wednesday. Ted Pahorkas.
And Steve Scott.
And the rumors are true. Ted has officially been elected the best looking in all the 4 states. I know that was a really hotly contested race.
All comments made by Ted about Ted's good looks, humility, and or general awesomeness during the duration of this morning show do not necessarily reflect the views of Zimmer Marketing or News Talk KZRG. In fact, it is advised all these comments are outright ignored. We now return you to your regularly scheduled morning show.
You didn't even laugh at my joke, hotly contested.
No, I did not.
Was that because it was not funny, or because you didn't understand the subtlety of the humor?
Here's my true feelings on it.
How's the weather today?
It's going to be partly sunny and hot. We do have a chance of some isolated showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. In fact, they are so isolated right now. We've got one around Golden City, Missouri, one just to the northeast of Carthage, and one just to the south end of Pittsburgh. That's pretty much it in all of the 4 states at the moment, but we've got a very, very slight chance of those all day long. 97 for the high today, with the heat index topping out as high as 102 for today, so it's going to be very, very hot and feel like it as well. Tomorrow, there's a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, with the high near 99, heat index as high as 104 for tomorrow. We're going to be talking to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic at 7:25.
A lot of news for you today. A lot of news to the point where we might not even get to absolutely all of it. But the election was last night. We have our results for you this morning. Of course, the big questions in Missouri were Amendment 4 and Amendment 5. And boy, howdy, was it a smackdown for both of them. Amendment 4 had to do with initiative petition reform. That is citizen-led legislation, that is citizen-led, quote-unquote, that can get onto the ballot. This is how, for instance, sports gambling became legal in Missouri. This is how, for instance, legal marijuana, recreational marijuana became legal in the state of Missouri. There was an effort to raise the bar for competition, basically, to make it a little bit more difficult to get those amendments on the ballot. That was beat down. 80% of the vote said no. 80% of voters said no.
That's also how we got abortion legalized back in Missouri.
Oh, yeah, also that one, too. 20% said yes. So, Amendment 4 did not pass by flying colors. Amendment 5, that had to do with repealing the state income tax and opening up the door for state legislators to expand the sales tax base, which is fancy speak for add sales tax to more goods and services. Amendment 5 also got beat down. About 83% of the vote was a no on Amendment 5, with only about 16% of the vote sitting at a yes. So again, absolute schmackdown for Amendment 5. Those were big races that we were following very, very closely for you.
For Missouri State Auditor, it's kind of a landslide. Scott Fitzpatrick, of course, I think he was the only one on the Republican ticket running. He was the winner of the Republican side.
Don't do Gerald Wistrand Jr. dirty like that. Gerald Wistrand Jr. putting in a good fight. He had 93,000 votes. Of course, Scott Fitzpatrick had more than 500,000. So,
Yeah, more than 500,000. Now, we don't have winners named as of yet on the Missouri U.S. Representative for District Number 4, which includes Eric Burleson and others. And also Missouri
No,
US
District 7 is Burleson.
Oh, District 4, I'm sorry. That's Mark Alford's district. Then also Missouri U.S. Representative District 7, which is Burleson's district. No winner reported as of yet, although we've got 100% of the votes already in.
Yeah, no, so some numbers here. Mark Alford absolutely won in District 4. He had 77.6% of Republican votes. The runner-up was Heather Schrenker, and she was in second place. Now, keep in mind, this is a primary election, so Republicans versus Republicans, Democrats versus Democrats. So it's not like one wins over the other. So keep that in mind. Like I said, Mark Alford, more than 72,000% of Republican votes. He will be squaring off against Jordan Herrera, who's running as a Democrat. She's sitting at 19,000 votes. Again, Republican versus Republican, Democrat versus Democrat in this. Taking a look here at District 7, Eric Burleson, absolute smackdown on the Republican side of how everything went down. Eric Burleson, 76,000 votes. Runner-up was Grayson Hunt on the Republican side. Grayson ended the race with 13,590 votes. So Eric Burleson, good old EB, he will be squaring off against Missy Hesketh, who is running as a Democrat. She was the lone Democrat running in the primary for Missouri U.S. Representative District 7. Again, that is Southwest Missouri. Missy got 33,000 votes. So, again, it was Republicans versus Republicans, Democrats versus Democrats. But if you take a look at those numbers, Eric Burleson, 76,000 votes. Missy Hesketh, 33,000 votes. If that's any indication for how November will go, it looks like it might be a lock for Burleson. But, of course, we're not entirely sure on that because we'll have to wait. There's a lot of other big races that we were following for you last night. Of course, one of the biggest ones, one of the loudest ones, was a local Senate race. And, of course,
state Senate.
Excuse me, thank you. It was a local state Senate race, and that was the race between Jill Carter and Ellen Nichols. Jill Carter ended up walking away with the victory on that.
She got nearly 70% of the vote.
Yeah. So a little bit of a beat down there. And so Jill Carter, as a Republican in November, will be going up against Emma Curl, which will be taking place again in November. So there's a lot more races. We're not going to be able to get to all of them in every segment, but what I will say is all morning we're going to be rattling off the final scores and winners throughout the morning, all day today, and throughout the news today. And if you want to take a look at these numbers yourself, pour over the data, you can go to Newstalk KZRG's Election HQ. That's Newstalk KZRG /elections, and you can get all of the details there. All the results are written right there for you on that. I do want to get to a little bit of national news. I know the elections were the big deal, but we do have some other news. The Senate Judiciary Committee has advanced Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General. Now, little background here. Pam Bondi was the Attorney General under Donald Trump. The Attorney General is like the top legal dog of the United States. Pam Bondi was the Attorney General. She stepped down earlier this year, and so Trump said, hey, Todd Blanche, can you be the temporary fill-in Attorney General? And he said, sure, Donnie boy, I'd love to do that for you. And it turns out he's done such a good job that Trump wants him to be the permanent Attorney General.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think Todd was actually one of the lawyers for Donald Trump when he was not in the presidency.
You do, in fact, remember correctly. And so Donald Trump, he decided to nominate Todd Blanche to be permanent Attorney General, at which point Todd now needs Senate approval. He needs a majority vote from the Senate in order to officially become the Attorney General.
Now, one of the things that he had to do was to get this far in the process was he had to, in writing, put down that they were going to do away with the slush fund for people that were, shall we say, prosecuted under duress by the Biden administration, DOJ. That was a winner that Donald Trump had won in a lawsuit against the IRS. Well, That was put into writing, but now that means that the Donald Trump lawsuit is not settled once again.
Yeah, so a little background here. Basically, a little while ago, some IRS agents leaked a bunch of tax documents. Donald Trump was one of them. He then sued the IRS as a result of it, saying, hey, you released my public information. Donald Trump then became president, and everyone's like, well, that's kind of a conflict of interest. The president's suing his own government. How does that work? So Donald Trump said, okay, I'll make you a deal. Let's start a $1.776 billion legal fund, the 1776 legal fund, where anybody that is self-described a victim of lawfare can dip into this fund, and that would pay for their legal fees. Now, Republicans had some issue with this. Number one, the main issue Republicans had is, how is that small government? You know, the idea that, we're going to start another multi-billion-dollar legal fund, which I know technically it's not multi-billion, but we're getting close to $2 billion there. So Republicans were like, we want more slush funds. Is that what you're saying? No way, Jose. That was number one. Number two is there is no legal definition for lawfare. So this fund was specifically for victims of lawfare. Since there's no legal definition, it kind of goes on vibes. And I'll give you an example, like woke. There is no legal definition for woke. You kind of just go, well, that feels woke. You know what I mean?
You're awake.
Right, exactly. So lawfare is similar, where there's no legal definition. So Republicans took issue with that. Specifically, Senators Tom Tillis, Republican from North Carolina, and John Cornyn, Republican from Texas, were the loudest, most vocal about this fund. And they said, until Todd Blanche rescinds that deal with Donald Trump to start this 1776 lawfare fund, until he rescinds it and takes it back, we will not push him through as nominee for Attorney General. Todd Blanche then took to writing and said, I formally rescind this deal. And then John and Tom, thank you, decided, yeah, okay, we'll push you through. And so Todd Blanche has now gotten through the first hurdle through the Senate Judiciary Committee, and now he will be looking at a Senate-wide vote on whether or not he will become the next Attorney General of the United States.
That could potentially lead to a higher payout by the U.S. government, though, to Donald Trump for this lawsuit settlement, too.
Which is crazy because, again, Donald Trump was Mr. Let's save taxpayer money, and then also was like, hey, taxpayers, give me money. So,
well, he wasn't particularly wanting money the way he had it set up, but I understand what you're saying.
But if he decides to ask for more money now, it's not going to be a great political look for the guy that says, let's save taxpayer money, let's get rid of the deficit, let's have the debt. Like, that was all of his campaign.
Well, he's not running for election again, or is he?
Well, he made promises to the people, and I would love to see, promises made, promises kept. I'd love to see him keep those promises. But we'll see. We'll see. KZRG News Time 622.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
Missouri voters overwhelmingly rejected a ballot measure to eliminate the state's individual income tax and authorize more state sales taxes. Of more than 1 million votes cast, a little more than 83% rejected the measure, with a little more than 16% voting in favor of it.
Number 2.
Likewise, Missouri voters rejected a measure making it harder to pass constitutional amendments. 80% of the voters said no, with only about 20% supporting the measure. Had this measure been in place in the past, sports gambling and legalized marijuana and abortions would not have passed.
Number 1.
In a hotly contested primary race, Missouri State Senator Jill Carter has proved victorious over Republican challenger Ellen Nichols. Carter garnered over 69% of the vote, with Nichols securing just over 30% of the vote. Carter will now be taking on Democrat Emma Curl in November.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What surprised you about last night's election results? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page, News.KZRG on Facebook, or text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, what's going on with your money on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front that's going to hang out for a while. Right now, best chances for heavier rain and thunderstorms to our northeast, where there are some flood watches. Maybe some isolated severe weather, too. Also, that's probably going to be north and east of us. But continue to go through the day with the heat and humidity building into the upper 90s, with the heat index just over 100. And some isolated showers and thunder showers, especially this afternoon through this evening. Sunshine back tomorrow, hot and humid upper 90s, feeling like 105. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Have you ever been to B&B Discount on Old Route 66 in Galena?
No, what's that?
It looks like a big industrial complex. I didn't actually think it was open to the public. Boy, am I glad I was wrong.
Oh, really?
The counter folks had someone show me around the complex.
What'd you find there?
Building materials, heating and air equipment, plumbing, home decor, shingles, siding, literally thousands and thousands of products, all deeply discounted.
Sounds like I should check that out.
B&B Discount, 1203 East Clark on Old Route 66 in Galena.
We buy guns, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes. We are the best, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes.
This is Liberty Tree Guns, the best place to sell your firearms. Walk in with a gun, walk out with money.
We buy guns, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes. We are the best, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes.
Liberty Tree Guns, across from Lowe's in Carthage. Or visit libertytreeguns.com to start your quote today.
We buy guns, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes. We are the best, oh yes.
You know that feeling. Your driver calls and says, "You're not going to like this." It's your first holy cow moment of the day. Maybe it's a blown hub, a trailer that won't brake right, a lighting issue right before a load has to leave. But whatever it is, you know your day and your bottom line is at risk. That's why you need Bennett's Truck and Trailer. They know those holy cow moments hit fast. And when they do, you need someone who knows how to fix a problem and keep you moving. From the biggest fleets to owner-operators running on thin margins, Bennett's is the name people trust when the unexpected threatens to put the brakes on your day. Because at Bennett's, it's not just about parts and repairs, it's about keeping your business on the road. Fast service, experienced techs, dependable solutions. That's why so many companies trust the Bennett way.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Cindy from Bennett's Truck and Trailer. Roll into the shop on Thunder Road in Dunawig or find us online at bennettstrucktrailer.com.
Bennett's Truck and Trailer, the name fleets trust and the service drivers remember.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
I'm Nicole Murray with your money now. SpaceX said its revenue nearly doubled during its first earnings report since going public, fueled by its booming Starlink satellite communications and its AI business. However, company executives flagged the spending spree on its AI build-out. SpaceX said it expects a $100 billion revenue run rate by December. Novo Nordisk's quarterly beat and guidance increase did little to resolve Wall Street's biggest concern: whether the Ozempic maker can continue to grow amid competition with Eli Lilly. The medical giant raised its full-year outlook. Analysts said the better-than-expected quarter benefited from rebate adjustments and other temporary factors. Asian technology stocks surged this morning after a strong Wall Street rally overnight that saw robust corporate earnings and easing oil prices push U.S. indexes to fresh records. Shares of SoftBank Group surged more than 10%, while chip equipment maker Tokyo Electron added roughly 3.6%. Futures are slightly higher. That's your money now.
Texting enrolls you in a
recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here. Every weekday starting at 2, I am live on FM 102.9 and AM 1310 News Talk KZRG. Tune in. Stay up to date.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Going to be sunny and hot, or mostly sunny and hot, with the high today near 97. Heat index topping out as high as 102. Then tomorrow, sunny and hotter again with a high of 99. Heat index as high as 104. Complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stagey coming up in just a matter of minutes.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG.
At 6:31, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
Jill Carter wins.
Fate of Missouri amendment.
Kansas amendment fails.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG topping out at 97. Could feel as high as 102 today. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stagey. Following sports, that'll be at 6:38. Sun is on the rise at 72 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Webb City, 77 in Joplin, FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk, KZRG.
It looks like Jill Carter is sticking around. The Jasper and Newton County State Senator easily defeated the Republican primary in Missouri's 32nd Senate District, defeating challenger Dr. Alan Nichols. Jill Carter got nearly 70% of the Republican vote in the primary. The race was closely watched across southwest Missouri because Nichols is the wife of former state Senator Bill White, whom Carter had defeated in the 2022 Republican primary.
4 and 5 failed. Missouri voters sent a strong message last night, rejecting both amendments 4 and 5 by wide margins. 4 would have created the nation's most difficult standard for citizen-led initiatives to change the state constitution. 5 would have phased out the individual income tax and would have allowed lawmakers to expand the sales tax to any goods or service, or given them 5 years to determine how to do that. Governor Mike Kehoe, who had strongly supported both amendments, said the outcome would not end efforts on those issues.
Meanwhile, Kansas voters rejected a measure that would have allowed them to vote on Supreme Court justices. Spending on broadcast and digital advertising reached nearly $13 million during this campaign. Opponents had spent $9 million of that. The governor now appoints the justices from among 3 finalists selected by a nominating commission with no role for the Republican-controlled legislature. The measure's backers had hoped that if they were successful, they could start electing conservative justices as early as 2028.
Sun is on the rise with a mixture of sun and clouds. 77, 6:33. News Talk, KZRG.
Well, it was a bitter rematch for a congressional seat in Missouri's 1st District, and it's been decided with a big blow to a progressive candidate.
Congressman Wesley Bell has won a rematch in the Democratic primary against former Congresswoman Cori Bush, telling supporters one big issue needs to be addressed.
We need to make certain that our voices are heard loudly and clearly, that November elections are coming up. And Americans want to see these healthcare costs addressed and more access to health care.
Bell will face Republican Paul Berry III and Libertarian Tom Schmitz in the November general election. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
A big maintenance project underway on 2nd Street in Joplin. News Talk KZRG Steve Smith has more.
If you're thinking about driving on the Vernon Sigers Viaduct that links Easttown to downtown Joplin, you'll need to make other plans. The bridge closed to all traffic on Monday of this week to allow crews to complete repairs to the bridge's critical expansion joints. The bridge is closed now to vehicular and pedestrian traffic for the duration of the project. Detour signs are up. The viaduct is expected to reopen on Friday, August 14th. Steve Smith, News Talk, KZRG.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310, 77-635, News Talk, KZRG.
He's calling it one of the biggest scams in American history. Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley now fighting AI surveillance pricing.
That is really, in a nutshell, when the corporations work with the AI companies to harvest your personal data. And I'm talking about your home address, how many children you have, your internet browsing history, everything they can get their hands on, and feed that data through their complicated algorithms, which of course are totally opaque and unavailable to you, in order to force you to pay the absolute maximum amount of money they can get out of your pocket for every single product that they can offer to you.
Hawley said Congress must consider greater transparency and consumer protections.
Are we ready to build data centers? Do we have all of the parts?
Reuters reports the Trump administration is working on drafting a ban of Chinese-manufactured components for data centers, such as optical transceivers, devices that send and receive data over fiber optic cables at incredibly high speeds. There are real reasons for this. Firstly, electronic goods manufactured in countries not entirely friendly pose a security risk. What if they can be used in espionage or could just simply be remotely shut down? Such things would be crippling. Secondly, simply relying on a foreign country for much-needed infrastructure puts one at a disadvantage. Eben Brown, Fox News.
The Royals are winners, according to Joe Morgan.
Bobby Witt Jr. made a massive splash in his return to the Kansas City lineup last night. Witt picked up 3 hits and drove in 2 to power the Royals past the Minnesota Twins 8-2. Kansas City looks to keep that momentum going in Game 3 tonight with first pitch set for 6:40. Over in New York, a dream debut for George Lombard Jr. The rookie crushed a home run in his very first big league game, lifting the Yankees over the St. Louis Cardinals 2-0. Those two teams run it back tonight at 6:05. Catch the action on AM 1230 The Talker. And in football news, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has been staying in closer contact with the team during training camp. However, there's still no clear timetable for his return to the sidelines following the shooting of his wife at their Virginia home. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. It's free. It's available at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front that's going to hang out for a while. Right now, best chances for heavier rain and thunderstorms to our northeast where there are some flood watches. Maybe some isolated severe weather, too. Also, that's probably going to be north and east of us. But continue to go through the day with the heat and humidity building into the upper 90s with the heat index just over 100. And some isolated showers and thunder showers, especially this afternoon through this evening. Sunshine back tomorrow, hot and humid upper 90s, feeling like 105. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
Isolated showers now, mostly in southeast Kansas and north or southwest Missouri. That's according to the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. It's 72 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Carl Junction, 77 in Joplin. News Talk, KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 6:38.
Goldilocks needed a dumpster. The first one she rented was too small.
My garage stuff won't fit.
The second dumpster was too big.
I don't own that much junk.
Then she found the yellow box from Big John's Roll.
Good morning, everybody.
Okay, so Austin, you were no on 4 and 5. That's what I thought. And yes on 1 and 2. Well, hey, you got what you wished for. Audrey, good morning to you, Audrey. Hope things are doing well. Austin, I'm not sure, Ted. I think your good looks was an 80-20 issue. Hey! That's very funny, Austin. Austin, I voted against Burleson. He supported a 4 and 5 very hard. Yeah, he was very for 4 and 5. He was very all in on it. Yep, that is absolutely factual, Austin. No question about it. Sue said, lawfare vibe. I always look that aesthetic up to listen to while I go to sleep. Yes, of course, the lawfare vibe. Avery, good morning to you, Avery. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. The D&D one-shot I DM. Oh, you were the DM, Avery? Oh, that's so cool. Good for you, man. I think DMing is a lot of fun. Teresa said, is it wrong that every time I hear the word liberty, I automatically think Bibberty from those commercials? Like Bibbity, 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 Bop.
That's right, Liberty Bibberty.
Liberty Bibberty.
And go to the only place that's forged for fun. Anvil Axe Company and Event Center. With axe throwing, projected interactive targets, an outdoor patio with fire pits, and catering options from upscale to affordable favorites, Anvil Axe Company and Event Center gives you the most unique, most diverse, most fun venue in the area. Minutes from Joplin and Neosho, miles from Boring. Book online at anvilaxeco.com.
Julie from...
Good morning, everybody. So nice not hearing any political ads. Yeah, right? Hey, Bill, what's going on, my good man?
Just for your information, I approve that message.
Mm-hmm.
Your tomatoes. If you're seeing the end of your tomatoes get a little rotten spot, that is due to a calcium deficiency, and it can be corrected by adding calcium nitrate to your soil, or there's other ways to correct it. Just come on in and talk to me and I'll help you with that. There are certain flowers that are susceptible to pH rising or falling, so I have remedies for that, and that shows up a lot of times as nutrient deficiencies, yellow leaves. I can help you figure out what's going on and keep that garden producing through the hot summer months. Kind of helps you protect your investment. I mean, you put your heart and soul and your dollars into those gardens, so I want to see you be successful at that and come back year after year.
Find everything you need for your lawn and garden at Van Beesler Greenhouse and Feed Store, just east of Pittsburgh on Highway 126.
Clay Travis here and Buck Sexton. Make your day better and come hang with us from 11 to 2 p.m. right here on News Talk KZRG.
We talk news, politics, sports, and also some fun culture stuff too.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
6:41 is the KZRG News Time, AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, News Talk KZRG, post-election day morning. Ted
There was an
Bojorquez.
election?
Yesterday was.
Oh, Ted Bojorquez?
Little primary election, yeah.
Your name's Ted Bojorquez?
Allegedly.
Wow, you actually said it correctly this morning. My name is Steve Scott. I actually said that correctly.
Mhm.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing some very isolated, very scattered, spotty showers this morning. The heaviest rain is just to the north of Golden City, then it extends down in a line down to just east of Carthage. Another one around Asbury and another one around just south of Weir and West Mineral. These are all headed to the east, southeast. Nothing severe, not expecting it this morning. Now, your forecast calling for partly sunny with a high of temperature of 97 today, so it's going to be hot. The heat index making it feel as high as 102. Now, tomorrow, 99 for the high, with the heat index making it feel as high as 104 to 105. That, according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. We are going to be talking to Ray, 3-day Ray, as we like to call him. That'll be coming up at 7:25.
All right, we got a whole heck of a lot of news. Yesterday was the primary election. It was an absolute beatdown in some places and a little bit of a shock in others. For instance, two of the major races we've been following for you months and months leading up to this election last night were Missouri Amendment 4 and 5. Missouri Amendment 4 had to do with initiative petition reform. That is where citizens get together and suggest a constitutional amendment to the Constitution of the state of Missouri. That amendment would have made it more difficult to get those citizen-led initiative petitions onto the ballot for amending the state constitution. And that amendment was shot down. 80% of the voters said no to Amendment 4, with only about 20% saying yes. Let's take a look at Amendment 5 in Missouri. Amendment 5 proposed repealing the state income tax and paving the way for the state legislatures to broaden the sales tax. Brought in the sales tax base, which means that's fancy speak for state legislators could add sales tax in theory to things that didn't previously have sales tax. That amendment was shot down in a complete landslide. 83% of Missouri voters said no to repealing the state income tax and replacing it with more sales tax. Only about 16% said yes on that amendment. That was a huge landslide.
In the Missouri U.S. Representative District 4 on the Republican side, with 77% of the Republican vote, Mark Alford was the winner of that primary. On the Democrat side, with 30.4% of the vote, Jordan Herrera was the winner of the Democratic vote. For now, those two will be facing off in the election in November. For Missouri U.S. Representative District 7 on the Republican side, with 73.78% of the vote, for Republicans, Eric Burleson is the winner of the Republican primary. On the Democrat side, Missy Hesketh is going to be up against Eric Burleson come in November.
Yeah, KZRG News Time 645. Taking a look at the Kansas side of the state line for Kansas Governor Lori Kelly, the Democrat. She is being term limited, so she is absolutely out of here. So it was a pretty hotly contested race for the primaries for Kansas Governor, but ultimately Ty Masterson proved victorious on the Republican side, garnering 43% of Republican votes, which equate to 146,000 votes. That's a whole heck of a lot. And now he, as a Republican, will be squaring off in November against Cindy Holscher. Cindy is a Democrat. She garnered 49% of the Democrat vote, which equates to 107,000 votes. So that's a little look at what Kansas voters will be facing off with come November for state governor.
On the Missouri State Representative District 162, Republican Roger Koch, with 64.5% of the Republican vote, was the winner of that particular election. And I don't believe he has anybody to face in November, so he'll just be basically the only one on the ticket in November. Missouri State Representative District 160, on the Republican side, with 49.886% of the vote, the Republican vote, Cheryl Perkins was the winner of the Republican primary election. On the Democrat side, she'll be facing Angela Thomas in November. That'll be coming up for the Missouri State Representative District 160.
There's a whole heck of a lot of other races. We covered them all. You can find all that data at KZRG's Election HQ. That's newstalkkzrg.com/elections. All the information is there. You can take a little look-see at that. But I did want to get into some national news here this morning, and that is what is going on with a former four-stater. I mean, I guess once a four-stater, always a four-stater, but Homeland Security Chief Mark Wayne Mullen, used to be a senator for the great state of Oklahoma. He got his fingers caught a little bit in a little dismay, a little Republican dismay. He took over for Homeland Security after Kristi Noem had stepped down, or rather, I suppose, really was kind of booted out. He got caught in the crossfire for comments that he made recently where some hardline Republicans felt that he was being a little, quote-unquote, soft on crime, I suppose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm going to play for you a little clip here. It's about a minute and a half here, but I think it's really important to listen because he says a lot of information, a lot of things, some of which I agree with, some of which I don't, and I want to know your thoughts on it. Mark Wayne Mullen was asked about basically convicted illegal migrants that were convicted of violent crimes, and whether or not they should be thrown out of the country. Take a listen to this.
We're not doing job site raids. We're not going to Home Depot and raiding the parking lot. These are individuals that have already been convicted of a crime. If there's anything that we should agree on, is those individuals that are in prison that your state had already convicted shouldn't be released back on the streets. We should arrest those individuals or to grab them before you release them and ship them back out. That's providing safety for our streets, your streets, and guess what? There's no fanfare. ICE isn't doing any raids. We're not kicking in the door. We're not doing traffic stops. We're simply grabbing those individuals when they leave, because here's the other alternative. The other alternative is they're released into your state. We know where they go because we already have a detainer on, so we're watching them anyways. When they leave, we're going to arrest them. And then we're going to arrest them in a public space, which could cause more problems and put our officers at risk, the public at risk, and the person that we're serving the detainer at risk. And so what I'm saying is, let me work with you on this stuff. I'm not handling things like maybe the past secretary had. I'm just saying, let's work to get the worst of the worst off the streets, and then you won't see me in your cities and states like you do as much, because my presence won't be as big. In fact, you probably won't even see us at all.
So there was a whole heck of a lot there. Really, that was a call to action to Democrat-led states that refuse to cooperate with any border enforcement, period. And all he's saying is, look, if you have an illegal migrant that came here illegally, that was then not just arrested, not just charged, but convicted of a violent crime, let us take that illegal migrant and deport them. And that's what his call to action is. It's not that complicated. We're not going for, Consuela, your housemaid. We're not going for the poor old lady that's been in this country for 30 years, came here illegally back in the 90s and owns a small haberdashery. We're not targeting her. All we're targeting are the convicted violent felons specifically. Why is that so difficult for blue states to get on board with?
Because the Democrats don't like it.
Because the Democrats don't like it.
They want them.
And Markwayne Mullins, Secretary of Homeland Security under Donald Trump, former four-stater, also is now angering Republicans. Now, Republicans also don't like that, because one of the biggest things that I saw was, hey, Markwayne Mullin, we voted to deport all of them, not just some of them. Some Republican hardliners liked the way Kristi Noem was running things. They liked the fact that they were doing Home Depot raids and job site raids and kicking down doors. Some Republicans were all in on that, and Markwayne Mullin just said, we're not doing that anymore. We're not even doing pullovers. We're not even pulling people over anymore, which is something Trump has strongly supported that they start doing again. So he said, we are doing this as soft-handed as possible. Why can't you Democrats get on board? So it kind of sounds to me like he's trying to go to the middle, soft-hand a little bit to get Democrats on board. It's not really working, and in doing so, it sounds like he lost some of the Republican hardliners.
I think he kind of ticked some of the hardliners off on the Republican side.
I mean, that's exactly...
Really ticked him off. And hopefully he didn't tick off the president, because that would mean he might be out in the near future.
Yeah, maybe. So anyway, that's what's going on with Markwayne Mullin. Little update for you there. He's trying to soften the approach when it comes to what's going on. Make sure that there's not another, Minnesota situation where, what was it, Alex Preddy and Renee Good?
Yeah.
Got shot, which regardless of how you feel about that specific situation, you have to admit, no matter which way you look at it, Democrats use that as ammunition like nobody's business.
Well, not only that, they'll still try to plan out protests to get them in the way of the arrest of the convicted felons.
No question about it.
They'll still do that.
No question about it. I think what Markwayne Mullin seems to be doing is trying to limit the basically PR and press opportunities that the Democrats can use as political ammunition. It seems like that's what he's trying to limit. In doing so, maybe he has alienated some of the hardline, MAGA folk. But we'll see. We'll see what it turns into. So just wanted to give you that little update here. KZRG News Time just after 6:50.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
Missouri voters overwhelmingly rejecting a ballot measure to eliminate the state's individual income tax and authorize more state sales taxes. Of more than 1 million votes cast, a little more than 83% rejected the measure, with a little more than 16% voting in favor of it.
Number 2.
Likewise, Missouri voters rejecting a measure making it harder to pass citizen-led constitutional amendments. 80% of the voters said no, with only about 20% supporting the measure. Had this measure been in place in the past, sports gambling, abortion, and legalized marijuana would not have passed.
Number 1.
In a hotly contested primary race, Missouri State Senator Jill Carter has proved victorious over Republican challenger Ellen Nichols. Carter garnered just over 69% of the vote, with Nichols securing just over 30%. Carter will now be taking on Democrat Emma Curl in November.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What was the most surprising thing to you about last night's election results? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page, News Talk KZRG on Facebook. What about last night's elections was the most surprising to you? Coming up, Sean Hannity's Morning Minute. You can tune in to Sean every single weekday starting at 2 on News Talk KZRG. Good morning.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front that's going to hang out for a while. Right now, best chances for heavier rain and thunderstorms to our northeast where there are some flood watches. Maybe some isolated severe weather, too. Also, that's probably going to be north and east of us. But continue to go through the day with the heat and humidity building into the upper 90s with the heat index just over 100. And some isolated showers and thunder showers, especially this afternoon through this evening. Sunshine back tomorrow, hot and humid upper 90s, feeling like 105. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Save big money on your summer project at Menards. Transform your garage with rock-solid floor coatings. Complete your project with a showroom-quality finish in one weekend. A one-car kit covers up to 250 square feet. Get everything you need to complete your project with rock-solid floor coatings. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help bring your dreams to life. 1 gallon.
Good morning, everybody. Not Republican dismay. Republican dismay. Did I say that? Are you quoting me, Sarisa? This is a real question. I need you to understand, I didn't leave this building last night until around midnight. No, that's not true. I probably left closer to 11 p.m. and I got in at around like 4:15, 4:20 this morning. So I am on fumes today as a result. Did I say Republican dismay? It's a real question. You should have seen how professional it all looked. Very cool. Oh, Avery created a story for one shot. Had a lot of fun organizing things on the table. Yeah, that's the thing. To me, that's what I love about board games and tabletop games is just a little... It's very fun. Yes, Ted. You said Republican dismay. Wow, I said Republican dismay. Awesome. You need Zero Sugar Monster. Austin, Celsius #2. Right here, my man. And by the way, I have #3 at my desk, and I'm going to grab it after the next newscast.
Coffee with Splenda and half and half.
Avery said, wait, Kristi Noem isn't whatever position she was in before? When did this happen? Yeah, no, she, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, Avery, but she was the Homeland Security Secretary, and she was kind of booted out, and Mark Wayne Mullen took over.
After riding a horse with a multi-million-dollar publicity campaign.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to everything else.
Avery said, announcer voice. And now, up on the main stage, it's Republican Dismay with their hit single, We're Gonna Arrest Them.
And I approve this message.
And I approve this message. Oh my goodness. Peach Vine is my favorite. Peach Vibe, yeah. Yeah, I like Peach Vibe a lot. For me, it's #2. I'm a sucker for fruit punch flavored, Austin. I think it is a vestigial interest of mine from a child. You know, when you're a kid, you love like fruit punch flavored stuff. It's like the coolest flavor. So I love the fruit punch one, but it's hard for me to find this fruit punch Celsius. They're like somewhat rare now, which is shocking to me. I would think that was like their main flavor, but I suppose not. So yeah, I like Peach Vibe too. It's definitely a top 3 of mine for sure.
States like South Carolina and Virginia and New Mexico. Well, why are they bypassing Iowa and screwing Iowa over in the Iowa caucus? Why are they bypassing the live free or die state of New Hampshire?
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
Good news, you don't have to overpay for big wireless. Nope, not when Pure Talk comes in with the exact same cell towers, the exact same 5G network, the same exact service for a fraction of the cost. And by the way, now for the first time ever, Pure Talk, they are offering any plan at just $15 a month
for your first 3 months. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. Whatever plan you choose, including their unlimited data plans, even their top-tier $65 plan, $15 a month for your first 3 months. Huge saving up to $150. But make the switch now. It's simple, it's fast, it's easy. Enjoy your first 3 months of text, data, talk, $15 a month. You simply dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, make the switch, pound 250, keyword save now from my wireless company, a veteran-owned company, America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
The world moves fast, so tune in to me, Mark Levin, every weekday starting at 5 on News Talk KZRG for the latest news, politics, and commentary. You won't want to miss it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Partly sunny and hot today, 97 for the high, could feel as high as 102. We're going to talk with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. That'll be at 7:25.
The four states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin, a free service of Zimmer Market. It's 7 o'clock.
He just declared victory. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Abdul El-Sayed, the progressive Democrat running for Senate, backed by socialists in Michigan, posted on X minutes ago, "We won," though votes are still being counted after he said last night.
We are not a purple state. We are a state in need of a movement.
Abdul El-Sayed has a 1 percentage point lead over Congresswoman Haley Stevens, who remained confident last night that she'll win the primary.
We are going to have to get ready and show Mike Rogers what a little stick it to him looks like.
Mike Rogers is the Republican running for that Michigan Senate seat, now held by a retiring Democrat, and he just told Fox if he faces El-Sayed in November.
This is really about the heart and soul of our country. I have never seen someone so radical, so extreme, get nominated by a political party.
Republicans need a new candidate for a House seat in North Carolina. Congressman Chuck Edwards announced on X early this morning he's ending his re-election campaign amid sexual harassment allegations that led the House Ethics Committee to recommend Edwards be censured. President Trump is still giving talks a chance to work out a nuclear deal with Iran and reopen the Strait of Hormuz to oil and other shipping, telling Fox,
"The only thing that matters is action, and they want to make a deal. We'll see what happens. If they don't make a deal, it's going to be too bad."
Warning Iran, the U.S. will hit them again very hard. The president said that in an interview at his California golf club near Los Angeles, where a few days ago a man was arrested.
Investigators say they found hollow point ammunition in his pocket and a gun in his car. Now, this all happened Sunday afternoon when plainclothes federal agents alerted the Los Angeles Sheriff's Office after spotting someone walking on the golf course grounds. They believed the suspect was taking photographs and videos and appeared to monitor security.
That's Fox's Natalie Chuck. That suspect facing numerous felony charges. And President Trump, he spent the night in Las Vegas, where later today he'll give a speech on the economy. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG heading for a high of 97. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 7:08. Some clouds, some sun as the sun is rising. 72 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Diamond, 77 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk, KZRG. 4 and 5 failed. Missouri voters sending a strong message last night, rejecting both Amendments 4 and 5 by wide margins. 4 would have created the nation's most difficult standard for citizen-led initiatives to change the state constitution. Amendment 5 would have phased out the individual income tax and would have allowed lawmakers to expand the sales tax to any goods or service and had given them 5 years to determine how to do that. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe, who had strongly supported both amendments, said the outcome would not end efforts on those issues.
Jill Carter, Roger Koch, Thomas Ross, Brendan Kelly. Those are a few winners in a few big local legislative races we followed for you last night. Mike Roberts defeated Teresa Kinney to be the next Jasper County prosecuting attorney. Jasper County saw a turnout of about 26%, slightly above what County Clerk Charlie Davis predicted.
Ty Masterson or Cindy Holscher. That's who Kansas is going to have to choose from for their next governor. Democrat Laura Kelly is term limited, so voters will have to pick a new state leader. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Mixture of sun and clouds, 77, 704. News Talk, KZRG.
A bitter rematch for a congressional seat in Missouri's 1st District is decided, with a big blow to a progressive candidate.
Congressman Wesley Bell has won a rematch in the Democratic primary against former Congresswoman Cori Bush, telling supporters one big issue needs to be addressed.
We need to make certain that our voices are heard loudly and clearly, that November elections are coming up. And Americans want to see these health care costs addressed and more access to health care.
Bell will face Republican Paul Berry III and Libertarian Tom Schmitz in the November general election. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
A big maintenance project underway on 2nd Street in Joplin. News Talk KZRG Steve Smith has the story.
If you're thinking about driving on the Vernon Sigers Viaduct that links East Town to downtown Joplin, you'll need to make other plans. The bridge closed to all traffic on Monday of this week to allow crews to complete repairs to the bridge's critical expansion joints. The bridge is closed now to vehicular and pedestrian traffic for the duration of the project. Detour signs are up. The viaduct is expected to reopen on Friday, August 14th. Steve Smith, News Talk, KZRG.
We're the Kansas City Royals winners. Joe Morgan's got the answer.
Bobby Witt Jr. made a massive splash in his return to the Kansas City lineup last night. Witt picked up 3 hits and drove in 2 to power the Royals past the Minnesota Twins 8-2. Kansas City looks to keep that momentum going in Game 3 tonight with first pitch set for 6:40. Over in New York, a dream debut for George Lombard Jr. The rookie crushed a home run in his very first big league game, lifting the Yankees over the St. Louis Cardinals 2-0. Those two teams run it back tonight at 6:05. Catch the action on AM 1230 The Talker. And in football news, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has been staying in closer contact with the team during training camp. However, there's still no clear timetable for his return to the sidelines following the shooting of his wife at their Virginia home. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
It's free at your app store. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Joe Morgan.
Next news, 7:30. Breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajan.
Here's your KZRG forecast this morning. Mainly dry weather, maybe a passing shower, thunder shower. Into the afternoon, some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise hotter and humid, upper 90s with the heat index just over 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
The stations of Zimmer Marketing reach 95% of Jasper and Newton counties. When your business has something to say, Zimmer is where you say it. Your customers are listening. Will they hear you? Zimmer Marketing. It just works.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing some spotted isolated showers this morning, mostly now in Jasper and Cherokee County in Kansas. Current temperatures. It's cloudy and 72 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Galena, 77 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 7:08.
Why is the house so hot?
The thermostat says it's 72.
Oh, does it say 72? Thanks, Earl. I can read.
When your house can't keep its cool, neither can you. Call A1 Climate Control. Today's AC systems aren't cheap, but A1 can help you stay cool and in budget. If you need a new system, A1 has financing available with approved credit. They're ready to install the right Amana heating and air unit to fit your needs. Let A1 help you keep your cool and schedule an appointment today. 417-627-0411.
Still married? That deserves a celebration. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 51st, Como Jewelry has just the thing to keep you in the good graces of your better half. Classic, custom, sparkly, or sentimental, we've got it all. Because anniversaries aren't just about counting the years. They're about celebrating all the "we made it" moments. Swing by in Pittsburgh or visit our brand new Joplin store at 3401 North Range Line. Como Jewelry.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I started with Team Dental because I loved the team dynamic. That was what really drew me to come and interview with Dr. Lemus. During the interview, process I'll never forget. He told me our core values: work hard, trust God, be sincere, and help others. And I just...
Avery said, I've never had an energy drink. I want to try Gamer Sups at some point, though. The lemon flavor looks really good. Yeah, anything with the word gamer or fuel in it, I would steer very clear of, Avery.
But when they complete their treatment and they've earned that trust in you, and you see that smile on their face because they feel comfortable, that's amazing, and we see it a lot.
I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental and Joplin, where we specialize in dentistry that fits your schedule.
These stuff is pretty good. I've been I was in a my Minecraft, my 2-week Minecraft obsession phase that everyone has every 6 to 8 months. And right as I started getting back into it with my cousins, my friend invited me to play Battlefield 6, and I had gotten the game when it came out, and I literally just never played it. I am hooked on Battlefield 6. What a phenomenal game. I don't know if FPSs are your guys' thing or not, but boy howdy. It has been an absolute blast.
Do you want to leave the bottom local 3 in?
Wrong with the garbage disposal?
I don't know. It was working this morning. Did you put something down there?
Just a couple of corn cobs. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. When you got a clog that can't be beat. When your shower water is above your feet. When you flush that bowl and it makes you frown.
Spring River makes that drain go down.
Hi, this is Nathan Terry. Don't let a clogged drain or broken garbage disposal spoil your summertime fun. Give Spring River Drain and Sewer a call, and our licensed drain experts will tackle your toughest clogs in the quickest way possible. We have the tools to clear out grease, years of buildup, and even corn cobs. Plus, we charge flat rate pricing for drain calls, so you know the price before we even show up. Schedule an appointment at springriverdrain.com. And remember,
Spring River makes that drain go down.
You're listening to News Talk KZRG 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. Live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. From Studio 1Z. With the latest news, commentary, and weather. It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Today is a data-heavy day. Last night were the primary elections. News Talk KZRG. We were covering them live for you last night, but I get it. You were probably sound asleep in your lovely, lovely bed. And so, in case you missed it, we have all the major updates for you this morning as well. KZRG News Time, 7:12.
Going to be partly sunny and hot today. Actual high of 97. Heat index making it feel as high as 102 for today. Tomorrow, even hotter. With the actual high of 99, heat index as high as 104 to 105 for tomorrow. Do have a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms today, and again tonight, and again tomorrow. Keep it here on News Talk KZRG. We will keep you up to date. At 7:25, we're going to be joined by KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Couple of big things happened last night during the election, the primary election. Of course, the big one had to do with Missouri's amendments. Amendment 4 and 5, those were the talk of the town. Both of them failed decidedly. It was not even close. Amendment 4 had to do with initiative petition. That is when citizen-led groups get together and they write their own suggestion for how to amend the Missouri State Constitution. And lawmakers decided that they wanted to make it a little bit more difficult to get those passed. Unfortunately for lawmakers, voters said no. 80% of Missouri voters last night said no on Amendment 4, which means that the Missouri State Initiative Petition process will not be changing. Then we go to Amendment 5. Amendment 5 had to do with repealing the state income tax and possibly paving the way to replace that lost revenue with a broader, rather expanded sales tax base. Amendment 5 also decidedly failed. Missouri voters said no, do not repeal the state income tax. No, do not give us more sales tax. 83% of voters said no on that. Only about 17% said yes. That is a smackdown if I've ever seen one.
Big time. In the Missouri U.S. Representative District 4 race, on the Republican side, with 77% of the Republican votes, Mark Alford was the winner. Will be facing Jordan Herrera, the Democrat, in November. Jordan won with 30.4% of the Democrat votes, so that's going to get that race going in November now. In the Missouri U.S. Representative District 7 race, on the Republican ticket, with 73.78% of the Republican vote, Eric Burleson was the winner of the Republican primary. They'll be facing Missy Hasketh, the Democrat. That'll be in the November elections.
Yeah, taking a look at some of the local statewide races, Missouri State Representative District 160, that is an individual that will represent Neosho, Granby, Diamond, Duquesne, those areas in Jefferson City. Taking a look at the primary last night on the Republican side, Cheryl Perkins, the victor with more than 3,000 votes, which represents just about 50% of Republican voters. We also have on the Democrat side, Angela Thomas. Now, Angela was running unopposed, so come November, Cheryl will be facing off against Angela to determine who will represent parts of southwest Missouri in Jefferson City. So that was a race we were following for you last night. And then, of course, really another major one that I guarantee, pinky promise you've heard the ads for, and that was the Missouri State Senate District 32 race. Senate District 32 represents Jasper and Newton counties in the state Senate in Jefferson City. And that it was primarily a race between Jill Carter and Ellen Nichols. And taking a look at the results of that, Jill Carter proved victorious, garnering 18,289 votes. Ellen Nichols, 7,940, which broadly represents Jill Carter getting 69% of the vote, Ellen Nichols 30% of the vote. Again, this of the Republican votes. Now, on the Democrat side, Jill Carter will now be squaring off in November against Emma Curl, who got 4,768 votes, which represents 100% of the Democrat vote because there was only one person running as a Democrat.
On the Kansas side, for Kansas governor, Laura Kelly is going to be term limited out, so there's going to be somebody else that will be elected as governor.
R.I.P. the homie.
In the Republican primary yesterday, Ty Masterson, with 43% of the Republican vote, was the winner, and they'll be facing Cindy Holscher with 49% of the Democratic vote. So again, that Republican and Democrat will be facing each other for the Kansas governorship in November.
Yeah, exactly. There are a ton of races. Last night, there were 93 candidates in total, 25 races for 25 offices. There were 7 ballot measures. There was all sorts of things. All that information can be found at News.KZRG's Election HQ. If there was a race that you were following last night that you were curious about, that we didn't just rattle off just now, we have all the results, all the data, all live for you right now at news.kzrg.com/elections. You can go check it out there. But I do want to get to some other local news here that isn't necessarily election themed, and that is the city of Neosho will officially be breaking ground on their new public safety center later this month. Now, this new facility that will be constructed, it will be constructed on city-owned property near the corner of East Kohler Street and North Washington Street, which is it's about 1.5 blocks north of historic Neosho Square. It's sort of near Hickory Creek. Rise Elementary School is near there. The conservatory event venue of Neosho is sort of in that area as well. And basically what this is, it's a new public safety center that will serve as the headquarters for both the Neosho Police Department and the Neosho Fire Department.
Yeah, their current facilities are getting very aged at this point, and they need to be replaced.
Yeah, and Steve would know. He spent a lot of time in the old facilities. I cannot tell you how many times Steve has called me late at night on a Saturday from the Neosho holding cell in their old police station. Going, Ted, I need you to pick me up.
For about a year or two, I worked in a building just south of the fire and police station there in Neosho.
And that's his story, and he's sticking to it, huh?
I'm sticking to it, buddy.
I liked my story better. In any case, this new building It is going to be a shared space between these two departments, which the reason why they're doing that is the city anticipates an estimated $1.5 million in savings compared to if they had built two separate buildings. And also, on top of that, they decided having one building and having the fire department and police department, their headquarters station there would be great in terms of intercollegiate. That's not the right word. Department. There's a better word. Interdepartment communication. That
sure
way,
it's not Inner Sandman?
Inner Sandman?
Yeah.
What is that?
You're just talking about inner.
No,
inner
not
stuff.
enter. Inner.
Oh, inner.
Inner. I-N-N-E-R.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't understand your inner.
My inner. Yeah, correct. Sorry, let me pronounce it better. Inner department communication.
Almost like it kind of rhymes with winner.
Strikingly similar,
okay.
yes,
Steve.
Okay. The point is that these first responders can collaborate better if they're sitting right next to each other. That's sort of the idea.
That's very true.
Yeah. So, great. I think that's awesome. As Steve said, the old structures were absolutely aging, so I think it's great that they're working on that. You can find details for this at newstalkkzrg.com. KZRG News Time, 7:20.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
Missouri voters overwhelmingly rejecting a ballot measure to eliminate the state's individual income tax and authorize more state sales taxes. Of more than 1 million votes cast, a little more than 83% rejected the measure, with a little more than 16% voting in favor of it.
Number 2.
Likewise, Missouri voters rejecting a measure making it harder to pass citizen-led constitutional amendments. 80% of the voters said no, with only about 20% supporting the measure. Had this measure been in place in the past, sports gambling, legalized marijuana, and abortion would not have passed.
Number 1.
In a hotly contested primary race, Missouri State Senator Jill Carter has proved victorious over Republican challenger Ellen Nichols. Carter garnered just over 69% of the vote, with Nichols securing just over 30%. Carter will now be taking on Democrat Emma Curl in November.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What surprised you about last night's election results? We want to know. Text us at 417-782-1310 or text us at 417-782-1310. You can just text us. That's your one option. Just kidding. You can also leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app, which is totally free to download in the App Store or Google Play Store, or you can hop on our Facebook page, News.KZRG on Facebook. There are nearly infinite number of ways to get in contact with us. That's how awesome KZRG is. But what are your thoughts? We really do want to know. Some of the results were pretty shocking to me personally. Coming up in less than 5 minutes, a look at weekday weather on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front that's going to hang out for a while. Right now, best chances for heavier rain and thunderstorms to our northeast, where there are some flood watches. Maybe some isolated severe weather, too. Also,
good morning, everybody. Jody, we got the Queen's Wave for Joe Day. What about gaming chairs, says Austin. You know what? People make fun of gaming chairs. They're very ergonomically accurate. I love gaming chairs because they are just really good for your back. For that reason, I like them. I love FPS games. I bought Battlefield 5, I think, for the PS3 a couple of years ago. For the PS3? Battlefield 5? I don't think so, Avery. Do you mean the PS5 or the PS4?
One backyard had everything. Boogers on the grill, kids running through sprinklers, fire pit glowing, until the mosquitoes arrived. Suddenly, everyone's swatting. The dog won't stop scratching.
Yeah, no, Battlefield 5 is not on PlayStation 3. Battlefield 5 is too new age for PS3. I get your point, though. Anyway, and then more recently, I got the same game for PS4. Okay, yeah, so that's where it would be at. Might have been one of the free monthly games I got with PlayStation Plus. Didn't realize it was the same game until a specific point in this niche out of the story. Yeah. Teresa, you want to know what a huge gamer I'm not? Two of my favorite video games are still the Scooby-Doo games and SpongeBob. Hey, listen. The SpongeBob computer game was incredible. S tier game. What was it? SpongeBob Rock Bottom?
One of my favorites was Galaxia. The one where you had fighter jets coming down, you had bees coming down, you had to shoot them.
Oh, excuse me. It was called SpongeBob SquarePants Employee of the Month. That was that one. I also had SpongeBob. It was called Atlantis SquarePantis. I had that SpongeBob game too. I had that for the Wii.
Not the U, the Wii.
Correct.
Mid-America Dental and Hearing Center accepts insurance from Delta Dental, Guardian, Aetna, United.
I've officially gotten to the age where I have a favorite brand of bread. Boy, yeah. Sneaks up on you, huh, Avery? That's very funny, Avery.
Is it Wonder Bread? Do you wonder if it's bread?
It's Brownberry. It's thebomb.com. Hey, Mary. Good morning to you. Mary.
Oh, there, Mary. Thank you very much. Yes, you're right. It was a cool game shooting those jets and bees.
Whichever most recent Battlefield game was on the PS3. Yeah, that would have been like Battlefield 3, I think. Might have been 4. I don't know.
Fees and experts and lawyers and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Guys, if you want the greatest night of your life, then you gotta hear this. There's a great ED pill out, and it's from the makers of Viagra. It's their ED pill called Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in as little as 12 minutes and lasts up to 12 hours. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. Viagra AGV crushes every other ED pill. And 9 out of 10 urologists now recommend this sensational new super pill over any other. Go to scoreblue.com while supplies last. Scoreblue.com. Viagra AGV is available only at scoreblue.com by prescription, no doctor visit.
Dignity, choice, control. They're the foundation of the Independent Living Center. At the Independent Living Center, they believe that needing assistance at home should never mean giving up the right to make your own decisions. That's why they offer both agency-directed and consumer-directed services. For individuals who want the freedom to choose their own care attendant, consumer-directed services puts that choice where it belongs, with you. Whether it's a trusted friend, a family member, or someone you know and rely on, having the ability to choose your caregiver can make all the difference. Because the freedom to choose who helps you is just as important as the help itself.
I'm Toby Davis with the Independent Living Center. Our mission is to help individuals with disabilities maintain their independence while staying in the comfort of their own homes. It's our core philosophy that every person should have the right to make their own decisions and take charge of their own care. To learn more about the many services we provide, such as our in-home programs and peer support opportunities, visit us at ilcenter.org.
The tough talk, the big issues, and nothing sugar-coated. Hi, this is Vince Colonnese. Join me right after Mark Levin at 8 on News Talk KZRG.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Steve Scott on News Talk KZRG, along with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Good morning, Ray.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Hey, we've got some isolated showers according to the KZRG Storm Tracker radar right now over in Cherokee County, Kansas. Are we expecting anything severe today, or are these just going to be spotted and isolated pretty much during the day?
Yeah, I think it's just here and there that you add it up, divide by the number of daylight hours, and it's probably more dry hours than wet in any one given point. So if you packed along the rain gear, you didn't do the wrong thing, but just that you may not use it. Obviously, moving out and about, you got a better chance of hitting some of those showers, thunder showers. But as I mentioned in the forecast, to the northeast, we may see some heavier rain and thunderstorms. Already seen that, but it's well northwest of Quincy, actually some severe weather. And as you get into south and southeastern Iowa, big area of rain and thunderstorms. But that's all going east of us. And then north as you get into parts of Kansas, Nebraska, and west and north of that, you are seeing some more showers, thunder showers. So with this boundary kind of hanging around, I think to the north side of it and north of us here is where the heaviest rain and showers will be with that flood watch. I think we're just going spotty through the afternoon, and here and there. It doesn't mean you may not get some moderate downpours if you get a storm, but other than that, it's the heat and humidity, the upper 90s, and again, feeling over 100 by just a bit. And more chances of showers and thunder showers tonight and tomorrow. But I really think that, again, it's just more hit than miss. And we're still in the upper 90s, and with the humidity tomorrow, maybe feeling close to 105. So we're taking our heat precautions. And then I think a better chance as we go through Thursday night and Friday of more widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. And that might temper the heat a tad on Friday into the middle 90s. Then we're going to get into the weekend. We're going to see the ridges in the west causing all the big wildfire problems in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho especially, slide a little bit to the east. And we're going to be on kind of the eastern edge of maybe even some hotter weather, as highs will be in the upper 90s, maybe close to 100 over the weekend and early next week. And the lows are going to be in the upper 70s. So not a bunch of rain. Best chance Thursday night, maybe Friday, and then some heat coming on back along with the humidity.
All right. Excellent. Hey, Ray, thanks for that weather update.
All right, guys.
We'll talk to you again soon, my good friend. That was a little look at what's going on with weekday weather here on News Talk KZRG. Coming up in less than 1 minute here, we'll be giving you an update on the results from last night's primary election. And following the news in less than 10 minutes, it seems as though there was yet another probable attempt at the life of President Donald J. Trump. Yet another one. That's coming up in less than 10 minutes. On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG.
At 7:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
Jill Carter wins.
Fate of Missouri amendments.
Kansas amendments fail.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG, topping out at 97, could feel as hot as 102. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic following sports. That'll be at 7:38. Mixture of sun and clouds with the sun rising at 72 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Carthage, 77 in Joplin. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, and on your smart speaker. News Talk, KZRG.
Jill Carter is sticking around. The Jasper and Newton County State Senator easily won the Republican primary in Missouri's 32nd Senate District, defeating challenger Dr. Ellen Nichols. Jill Carter got nearly 70% of the Republican vote. The race was closely watched across southwest Missouri and, in fact, the rest of the state as well, because Nichols is the wife of former state Senator Bill White, whom Jill Carter had defeated in the 2022 Republican primary.
4 and 5 failed. Missouri voters sending a strong message last night, rejecting both amendments 4 and 5 by wide margins. 4 would have created the nation's most difficult standard for citizen-led initiatives to change the state constitution. Amendment 5 would have phased out the individual income tax and would have allowed lawmakers to expand the sales tax to any goods or service, and would have given them 5 years to determine how to get that done. Governor Mike Kehoe, who had strongly supported both amendments, said the outcome would not end efforts on both of those issues.
Meanwhile, on the Kansas side of last night's primary elections, Kansas voters rejected a measure that would have allowed them to vote on Supreme Court justices. Spending on broadcast and digital advertising reached nearly $13 million during this campaign, with opponents spending about $9 million of that. The governor, currently as it sits, now appoints the justices from among 3 finalists selected by a nominating commission with no role for the Republican-controlled legislature. The measure's backers had hoped that if they were successful, they could start electing conservative justices as early as 2028.
Clouds, 77, 7:33, News Talk, KZRG.
Meanwhile, a bitter rematch for a congressional seat in Missouri's 1st District has been decided with a major blow to a progressive candidate.
Congressman Wesley Bell has won a rematch in the Democratic primary against former Congresswoman Cori Bush, telling supporters one big issue needs to be addressed.
We need to make certain that our voices are heard loudly and clearly, that November elections are coming up. And Americans want to see these health care costs addressed and more access to health care.
Bell will face Republican Paul Berry III and Libertarian Tom Schmitz in the November general election. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
A big maintenance project underway on 2nd Street in Joplin. With the story, Steve Smith.
If you're thinking about driving on the Vernon Sigers Viaduct that links Easttown to downtown Joplin, you'll need to make other plans. The bridge closed to all traffic on Monday of this week to allow crews to complete repairs to the bridge's critical expansion joints. The bridge is closed now to vehicular and pedestrian traffic for the duration of the project. Detour signs are up. The viaduct is expected to reopen on Friday, August 14th. Steve Smith, News Talk, KZRG.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Clouds 77, going on 735. News Talk KZRG.
Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley says it's time to fight back against AI.
You know, hardly a day goes by in this town without some booster of AI talking about how it's going to transform the American economy for the better. The question is, whose betterment will this transformation lead to?
Hawley says the marriage between the AI industry and mega corporations is one of the biggest scams in American history.
Are we really ready to build data centers? Do we have all of the parts?
Reuters reports the Trump administration is working on drafting a ban of Chinese-manufactured components for data centers, such as optical transceivers, devices that send and receive data over fiber optic cables at incredibly high speeds. There are real reasons for this. Firstly, electronic goods manufactured in countries not entirely friendly pose a security risk. What if they can be used in espionage or could just simply be remotely shut down? Such things would be crippling. Secondly, simply relying on a foreign country for much-needed infrastructure puts one at a disadvantage. Eben Brown, Fox News.
How'd the Royals do? Joe Morgan's got the answer.
Bobby Witt Jr. made a massive splash in his return to the Kansas City lineup last night. Witt picked up 3 hits and drove in 2 to power the Royals past the Minnesota Twins 8-2. Kansas City looks to keep that momentum going in Game 3 tonight with first pitch set for 6:40. Over in New York, a dream debut for George Lombard Jr. The rookie crushed a home run in his very first big league game, lifting the Yankees over the St. Louis Cardinals 2-0. Those two teams run it back tonight at 6:05. Catch the action on AM 1230 The Talker. And in football news, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has been staying in closer contact with the team during training camp. However, there's still no clear timetable for his return to the sidelines following the shooting of his wife at their Virginia home. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. It's free at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 8 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front that's going to hang out for a while. Right now, best chances for heavier rain and thunderstorms to our northeast where there are some flood watches. Maybe some isolated severe weather, too. Also, that's probably going to be north and east of us. But continue to go through the day with the heat and humidity building into the upper 90s with the heat index just over 100. And some isolated showers and thunder showers, especially this afternoon through this evening. Sunshine back tomorrow, hot and humid upper 90s, feeling like 105. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing a few isolated scattered showers this morning. 72 with clouds in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Hornet, 77 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 7:37. Make that 7:38.
My friend and I went golfing the other day, and as we were leaving, she says, "Hey, something feels weird on my head." So I took a look and found a tick attached to her scalp. Thankfully, I was able to remove it, but it got me thinking. At least she could tell me something didn't feel right. Your dog can't. They can't tell you about the tick they picked up on a hiking trail, the fleas hiding in their fur, or the mosquito bite that could lead to heartworms. They just keep being the happy, tail-wagging companion you know and love. That's why summer protection is so important. At Positive Care Vet Clinic, they help protect your pet from the parasites and diseases that thrive during the warmer months. Whether it's the dog park, a family road trip, or the backyard, every adventure can bring new exposure. But effective preventatives and vaccinations can help keep your four-legged family member safe. This summer, give your pet a voice and stay one step ahead of things they can't tell you about with Positive Care Vet Clinic. Get started today at positivecare.vet. That's PAWSITIVE care.vet. When it comes to your pet, think positive.
You know that feeling. Your driver calls and says, "You're not going to like this. It's your first."
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Frank, good morning, sir. Has anyone seen Camilla Peterson since their epic failure last night? She's been awfully quiet. Frank, I don't think anyone has ever accused you of being not funny.
Just being frank.
I'm going to be frank with you, Frank. That was very funny. I'm not surprised at all that 4 and 5 didn't pass, but I'm hoping they make some changes to both those ideas. Taking into account what opponents were concerned about and then let it run. Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be great.
Drivers remember.
Join me, Clay Travis, and my good friend Buck Sexton weekdays starting at 11 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk, KZRG.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
It's going to be partly sunny today with some isolated showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Nothing severe expected in the immediate area at this time. If it does turn severe, we'll get you informed in a very quick manner. Partly sunny and hot with a high today of 97, heat index as high as 102. Tonight, a slight chance of spotted showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low down to 74. Now, tomorrow, according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic, a slight chance of spotted showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near 99. Heat index could feel as high as 105 for tomorrow. Taking a look at some of the races from last night's election, Missouri U.S. Representative District 4 on the Republican primary. Mark Alford got 77% of the vote. He was the winner of the Republican vote, 72,325 votes for him. On the Democrat side, he's going to be facing Jordan Herrera with 30.4% of the Democratic votes. That's the winner for them. That next election coming up in November. Missouri U.S. Representative for District 7. On the Republican side, Eric Burleson getting 73.78% of the vote for the Republican votes, 72,021. He will be facing Missy Hesketh on the Democratic ticket. That'll be coming up also in November.
Yes, that was a pretty big race. Yesterday was, in fact, the midterm elections. Democrats versus Democrats, Republicans versus Republicans. And keeping with the theme of candidates from last night, of course, one of the very closely watched races was for Missouri State Senate District 32, which represents Jasper and Newton counties in the state Senate in Jefferson City. One of the reasons it was watched so closely is I don't think there was, I think really only Amendment 4 and 5 had more commercials going on than State Senate Race 32. 32 was one of the most advertised races, I think, during this entire campaign.
Lots of PACs joining
Lots
into
of
the
PACs
races.
throwing in their money in. But ultimately, Jill Carter, who is the current sitting state senator for that seat, will be maintaining her positioning. She got just about 70% of Republican votes in last night's primary elections, defeating Dr. Ellen Nichols, who got just about 30% of Republican votes in last night's election. So Jill Carter will be facing off against Emma Curl in the November election. Emma got 100% of the Democrat votes because she was the only Democrat that was running last night. So that was a look at Missouri State Senate races. Taking a look at Missouri State Representative races, Representative District 160, that represents the Neosho area, Granby, Diamond, sort of eking into southern Joplin. Cheryl Perkins is the Republican winner in last night's primary election. Cheryl Perkins got about 49, about 50% of the Republican vote, defeating Jonathan Russell and Chris Wright. Cheryl will be going up against, Angela Thomas in the November election. That will be taking place in November, shockingly enough.
On the Kansas side of things, Kansas governor, Republican primary yesterday, Ty Masterson got 43% of the vote with 146,251 of the Republican votes. Ty is going to be facing Cindy Holscher on the Democrat side. She got 49% of the Democratic primary votes, 107,077. Again, that's the Kansas governor race that'll be decided in November because Laura Kelly, the current governor, has been term limited out.
Yes, indeed. Another race we're following for you last night during our KZRG's live election coverage was Missouri State Representative District 162. In that race, only Republicans are running, and it was up against Roger Koch and Walter Hayes. 162, by the way, if you're not aware, that it represents Webb City, east part of, or sort of the western side of Joplin, west of Joplin, Carl Junction area. It goes up north quite a ways. And Roger Koch walked away with 64% of the Republican vote and will obviously take that seat because there are no Democrats running. So that's just a little tad bit, if you will, on some of the major races that we followed for you last night. All of the election data, or data, if you want to pronounce it that way.
They're all in one center.
One center, the KZRG election headquarters. That's where you can find it. Go to news.kzrg.com/election. But before we jump away from this, I do want to touch on Missouri's amendments. Amendment 4 had to do with initiative petition reform. That was handedly defeated. 80% of Missouri voters said no on Amendment 4, which would have made it more difficult for quote-unquote grassroots citizen-led initiatives to get onto the ballot to amend the state constitution. That's what it would have done, would have raised the barrier to entry for that, would have made it more difficult. But point is moot because 80% of voters said no on that issue. Then there was Amendment 5, which had to do with repealing the state income tax and replacing that lost revenue with a broader, more expanded sales tax base. Amendment 5 was also readily defeated with just over 83% of Missouri voters statewide saying no on getting rid of the state income tax and replacing it with more sales tax. That was an absolute smackdown on that. So, like I said, all the results can be found at KZRG's election headquarters. You can check them out there for yourself. news.kzrg.com/elections. KZRG News Time just after 7:46. All right, let's rattle off some even more information for you. We got a big national story for you here, Steve.
A big one.
A big one.
All right, I'm ready for it.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of redundant. It's KZRG. We only talk big stories here. An armed man, a man with 2 arms and also guns, was said to be monitoring security planning activities outside of Trump National Golf Course in Los Angeles just a couple of days before Donald Trump was scheduled to be present there.
Oh, boy. Here we go again.
Yep. Looks like yet another attempt at the president's life. This really wasn't even an attempt at his life. This was an attempt at his life. Now, here's what happened. According to reports, a 38-year-old Janine John Talley from Downey, California, law enforcement allegedly found this guy with an illegally modified AR platform rifle, 2 radio signal devices, a 1911 .45 caliber pistol, an AR platform upper receiver, body armor, high-capacity magazines, bulk pistol, and rifle ammunition. They found him with all this stuff either on his person or in his vehicle. And very basically, technically, we don't know if he was planning on killing the president of the United States, but according to reports, this guy was actively monitoring the security activities surrounding the Trump golf course as they were preparing for the president's arrival. Apparently, he was cruising around. He was watching them. He was taking photos. He was writing things down. And a plainclothed officer noted this, called the local sheriff department, who showed up, booked him, and while they were booking him, and this is what is just absolutely insane to me, after they arrested him and they were giving him a pat down, deputies from the local sheriff's office recovered a 16-round magazine containing hollow point ammunition in his pants pocket. No gun, just the 16-count magazine.
Wow.
Which in the state of California for pistols, max is 10. So out the gate, it's already illegal. He already shouldn't be having that. But I don't understand. Listen, I'm glad that would-be assassins are stupid. I'm not hoping or praying for smart ones. But my God, this guy was already monitoring Secret Service detail, and he was walking around with an illegal magazine. No gun. What was he going to do? Throw bullets at people if they approached him? I mean, that guy was just begging to get caught. That guy was he might as well have had a sign that said, probable cause right here, come get me.
Well, maybe he had a gun hidden somewhere and they just hadn't found it at the time that they arrested him.
Well, they found a gun in his car, but they only went through his car after they found the illegal magazine in his pants. So again, what was this man thinking? What was I don't
think he was thinking.
So illogical. It makes no sense. And again, thank God that all of the would-be assassins are complete idiots. Because look at the guy at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. What was his genius master plan? To bum rush the guards.
Yeah, that'll work real good anytime.
Yeah, we said sarcastically after he was caught like 30 feet away. I mean, these guys are just a bunch of complete idiots. It's jaw-droppingly, mind-numbingly stupid.
Does he not think that the Secret Service is going to monitor him while he's out there monitoring them?
Yeah, exactly. He didn't think that they would notice that he's been hanging around for several hours, taking photos, writing things down. So they went and checked his car, found guns in his car, and then subsequent searches of his belongings and property found all the aforementioned illegal guns, illegal ammunition, all body armor, all this stuff. And apparently there was a bunch of notebooks containing, quote, concerning statements. So good old-fashioned, got to have like the schizophrenic diatribe written down too. Why not? Throw that into the pot.
Wow.
I mean, none of it makes any sense to me. I just don't get it. Now, this guy, of course, he was booked and is now going to be charged. What those charges are, they're pending. They're going to be coming out exactly what he'll be charged for. Again, thank God the president wasn't there. Thank God the Secret Service did their job, and this plainclothes agent was able to identify this creep and call the local sheriff's office to get him arrested. And thank God he had an illegal capacity magazine on him, just with him, just for the lulz. Just as like a mental health thing, like, oh, this is my mental health 16 capacity magazine,
which is illegal there anyway.
All right, exactly. I need this for mental health purposes, officer. It's okay. So
it's a mental health magazine.
Yeah, exactly. So in any case, that's what's going on. My God, I think Donald Trump, president of the United States, might go down in history sincerely as the most wanted dead guy ever.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the truth.
The most assassination attempts on a single president's life. I mean, he's got to hold the record at this point. Yeah. Really. KZRG News Time 7:52.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
Missouri voters overwhelmingly rejecting a ballot measure to eliminate the state's individual income tax and authorize more state sales taxes. Of more than 1 million votes cast, a little more than 83% rejected the measure, with a little more than 16% voting in favor of it.
By the way, really quickly, Rick on our KZRG video live stream sponsored by Fast Monkey Auto and Liberty Tree Guns, he said, so that guy's so obvious, he also could have been a decoy for something or someone else. Maybe. I prefer my emotional support magazine theory, though.
Number 2.
Likewise, Missouri voters rejecting a measure making it harder to pass citizen-led constitutional amendments. 80% of the voters said no, with only about 20% supporting the measure. Had this measure been in place in the past, sports gambling, legalized marijuana, and abortion would not have passed.
Number 1.
In a hotly contested primary race, Missouri State Senator Jill Carter proving victorious over Republican challenger Ellen Nichols. Carter garnered just over 69% of the vote, with Nichols securing just over 30%. Carter will now be taking on Democrat Emma Curl in November.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What surprised you about last night's election results? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page or text us at 417-782-1310. You can also leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Totally free to do so in the App Store, by the way. Don't forget, Chris Plant Show joining us at 9, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton at 11, Sean Hannity at 2, Mark Levin at 5, and then, of course, we have The Vince Show with Vince Colonnese coming to you live every single weeknight at 8, Joe Pags at 11, and Coast to Coast with your George Norrie starting at the midnight. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front that's going to hang out for a while. Right now, best chances for heavier rain and thunderstorms to our northeast, where there are some flood watches. Maybe some isolated severe weather, too. Also, that's probably going to be north and east of us. But continue to go through the day with the heat and humidity building into the upper 90s with the heat index just over 100. And some isolated showers and thunder showers, especially this afternoon through this evening. Sunshine back tomorrow, hot and humid upper 90s, feeling like 105. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
I started with Team Dental because I loved the team dynamic. That was what really drew me to come and interview with Dr. Lemus. During the interview process, I'll never forget, he told me our core values: work hard, trust God, be sincere, and help others. And I just fell in love with that. I think it covers a wide variety of, different things that we do for the community. So it's a great team dynamic. I get patients with high anxiety, and that's one of my favorite things when they come in and they are terrified to come and see us, because nobody likes to come to the dentist, let's just be real. But when they complete their treatment and they've earned that trust in you and you see that smile on their face because they feel comfortable, that's amazing. And we see it a lot.
I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental of Joplin, where we specialize in dentistry that fits your schedule.
Team Dental of Joplin, your neighborhood practice.
If the magazine was his pill holder, he needs to take his medicine already. Whoa! Austin! That is very funny. Listen. Oh, boy. All right. Let's see. Hey, Rick, good morning to you. Crazy, angry people out there. No doubt about it, Mary. There's so many crazy, angry people. Steve Scott is one of them. I'm just kidding.
Have you ever been to B&B Discount on Old Route 66 in Galena? No, what's that? It looks like a big industrial complex. I didn't actually...
Curious if Janine is actually a man, because who names the boy that? The trans situation? It's a good question. It might be French. Is that a 16 capacity magazine in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? The failure of 5 surprises me. Not necessarily disappointed, just surprised. Tim, hey, by the way, good morning, Tim. I was pretty confident 5 was going to fail, personally. I thought it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be like, 55% no, 45% yes. I really thought it was going to be fairly close. For it to be an 80-20 issue is insane. That's crazy. That's what surprised me the most. Austin, you're $6.67 richer. Did you win a weirdly numbered scratch-off prize?
GCenter.com.
That's FranklinTechnologyCenter.com. You can do this. A better career starts here.
Franklin Tech, for the career that you expect. Franklin Tech, get with the program.
Be sure to tune in to News Talk KZRG every weekday from 9 to 11 to hear what's going on with me, Chris Plant, on News Talk KZRG.
It's the KZRG Morning Challenge.
Your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos.
To win, be the first on the phone with the correct answer to the question. 417-782-1310. 417-782-1310. Tim, what's the question?
Today's question is a suggestion from AJ. AJ texted us at 417-782-1310. Shout out to AJ with this trivia question suggestion, and I loved it so much, we're going for it. When was the first credit card introduced? 417-782-1310. You know credit cards. Everyone knows credit cards. What year was the first credit card, the first modern credit card introduced? 417-782-1310. I'll give you a hint. It was in the 1900s.
And the bill still hasn't been paid off.
Wah, wah. 417-782-1310. What year was the first modern credit card introduced? 417-782-1310. Big shout out to AJ for this great question. I'll give you another hint. 1900s, and it was after 1940. Post 1940. I got out the gate. This might be a holdover, Steve.
I think so.
Good morning.
The four states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin. A free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 8 o'clock.
A progressive declares victory in Michigan. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Abdul El-Sayed, who's backed by socialists, posted on X this morning that he won the Democratic Senate primary, though votes are still being counted as he leads Congresswoman Haley Stevens by about 1%.
We have a responsibility to assure that we unite to make sure that Mike Rogers never sees the inside of the U.S. Senate.
Mike Rogers is the Republican hoping to flip that Michigan Senate seat, now held by a retiring Democrat. And Rogers tells Fox.
The DSA candidates in the state in two different congressional races look like they're pulling it off as well. The Democrat Party is lost to this hardcore socialist attitude.
The two candidates he's referring to are Donovan McKinney and William Lawrence. McKinney, supported by socialists, leads a House race in Michigan ahead of Congresswoman Sri Thanadar, who's backed by the House's Democratic leader. Lawrence is a progressive who won another congressional Democratic primary. In Missouri, though, progressive Cori Bush lost her comeback attempt trying to win a House seat back, losing by more than 20 points to Congressman Wesley Bell. Republicans need to find a new candidate in another state.
Congressman Chuck Edwards, the Republican representative from North Carolina's 11th congressional district, is ending his campaign for a new term. Edwards' decision comes after a House ethics panel found substantial evidence, in their words, the congressman harassed female staffers.
That's Fox's Eben Brown. President Trump's optimistic they could work out a deal as soon as today with Iran on reopening the Strait of Hormuz fully to oil and other shipping, as he also pushes to get Iran to denuclearize.
Well, if they back out again, they're going to get hit really hard. You know, they know that. They understand that.
He told Fox that while at the Trump Golf Club near Los Angeles for a fundraiser. 2 days after a man was arrested acting suspiciously at that golf course, found with gun and ammo. It follows 3 assassination attempts the past 2 years. The president tells Fox.
Well, the only thing I get a little solace from is they say only consequential presidents. And I am definitely consequential.
America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Heading for high of 97, could feel as warm as 102. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 8:08. Clouds, 75 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 78 in Galena, 78 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk, KZRG. Amendments 4 and 5 failed. Missouri voters sending a strong message last night, rejecting both Amendments 4 and 5 by wide margins. 4 would have created the nation's most difficult standard for citizen-led initiatives to change the state constitution. 5 would have phased out the individual income tax and would have allowed lawmakers to expand the sales tax to any goods or service. It also would have given them 5 years to determine how to do that. Governor Mike Kehoe, who had strongly supported both amendments, said the outcome would not end efforts on both of those issues.
Jill Carter, Roger Koch, Thomas Ross, Brendan Kelly. These are the winners in a few big local legislative races we followed for you last night. Mike Roberts defeated Teresa Kinney to be the next Jasper County prosecuting attorney. Jasper County saw a turnout of about 26%, slightly above what County Clerk Charlie Davis predicted.
Ty Masterson or Cindy Holscher. That's who Kansas will have to choose from for their next governor in November. Democrat Laura Kelly is term limited, so voters are going to have to pick a brand new state leader. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310, clouds in 78 804, News Talk, KZRG.
Missouri's top election official has rejected a citizen petition seeking a statewide referendum on new congressional districts.
Republican Secretary of State Denny Hoskins says the petition is unconstitutional because congressional redistricting plans can't be subject to voter referendums. Supporters of the referendum submitted hundreds of thousands of signatures to force a November election based on a new House map approved by the Republican-led legislature. The new map used in Tuesday's primaries reshapes the Kansas City-based 5th Congressional District held by longtime Democratic Congressman Emanuel Cleaver by stretching it into rural central Missouri to give it a Republican slant. Republicans already hold 6 of Missouri's 8 congressional seats. A group backing the referendum says it will challenge Hoskins' decision in court. Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
A big maintenance project underway on 2nd Street in Joplin. News Talk KZRG Steve Smith has more.
If you're thinking about driving on the Vernon Sigers Viaduct that links East Town to downtown Joplin, you'll need to make other plans. The bridge closed to all traffic on Monday of this week to allow crews to complete repairs to the bridge's critical expansion joints. The bridge is closed now to vehicular and pedestrian traffic for the duration of the project. Detour signs are up. The viaduct is expected to reopen on Friday, August 14th. Steve Smith, News Talk KZRG.
How'd the Royals do last night? Let's check in with Joe Morgan.
Bobby Witt Jr. made a massive splash in his return to the Kansas City lineup last night. Witt picked up 3 hits and drove in 2 to power the Royals past the Minnesota Twins 8-2. Kansas City looks to keep that momentum going in Game 3 tonight with first pitch set for 6:40. Over in New York, a dream debut for George Lombard Jr. The rookie crushed a home run in his very first big league game, lifting the Yankees over the St. Louis Cardinals 2-0. Those two teams run it back tonight at 6:05. Catch the action on AM 1230 The Talker. And in football news, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has been staying in closer contact with the team during training camp. However, there's still no clear timetable for his return to the sidelines following the shooting of his wife at their Virginia home. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
It's free at your app store. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Joe Morgan.
Next news at 8:30. Breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast this morning. Mainly dry weather, maybe a passing shower, thunder shower. Into the afternoon, some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise hotter and humid, upper 90s with the heat index just over 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
The stations of Zimmer Marketing reach 95% of Jasper and Newton counties. When your business has something to say, Zimmer is where you say it. Your customers are listening. Will they hear you? Zimmer Marketing. It just works.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing a very isolated shower, mostly in Cherokee County, Kansas right now. It's moving to the east-southeast. Nothing severe, not expecting anything severe. 75 with clouds in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh. 78 in Seneca, 78 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time going on 8:08.
Swiss cheese, colanders, bagels, donuts. A lot of things have holes in them. Your mouth shouldn't be one of them.
Hi, I'm Dr. Grant Kirk.
And I'm Dr. Connor Postion with Joplin Family Dental and our new location, Carthage Family Dental.
where we're accepting new patients.
If you have missing teeth and want to smile like you used to, dental implants can help you feel whole again.
Whether you're missing one tooth or several, implants are designed to look, feel, and function like natural teeth.
They make it easier to chew your favorite foods, help protect your oral health, and may last a lifetime with proper care.
But more than anything, they help you smile, laugh, talk, and live with confidence again.
Schedule your consultation.
Good morning, everybody. Avery said, is my breakfast important? No. Avery, I'm not even going to read the rest of your comment. Your breakfast is very important. Everyone knows that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Serving it up Gary's way. Hashtag name that reference. The point is breakfast is, in fact, the most important meal. Your breakfast is what determines your energy levels for the rest of the day. Will you have a good, positive, energy-filled day, or will you have a goopy-dumpy day? Well, it depends on, did you have a good, positive, energy-filled breakfast or a goopy-dumpy breakfast? Breakfast is so important. I cannot express that more.
What'd you have for breakfast today?
It's not important, Steve. Rick said 25% of those registered voted, so the other 75% can gripe at the outcome.
That's true, value.
I'm glad that you have figured out through your many years of wisdom garnering, Rick, the system of governance that we have.
I'll snack to that, Rick.
That's exactly how that works. You'll snap right at Poetry Slam.
My audience do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and I'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Jim wrote in, he said he ran out of Relief Factor twice. Both times his ache and stiffness and pain came back. Once he restarted, he said, I felt better again. As Jim puts it, you know something's working when you run out of it. Jim, I can tell you that's exactly, I mean, I didn't run out of it. I just thought, my wife made me take it. I'm like, it's not going to work. And then I started feeling better, and I was like, well, I did my 3 weeks. I'm feeling better, but it's just me. I'm in a good spot. I stopped taking it, and it all came rushing back. That's how I appreciate what Relief Factor does, and it could change your life. They make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor helped you tackle your daily aches and pain. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Call 1-800-4RELIEF. Get the 3-week quick start, $17.76. 1-800-4RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us.
News, weather, politics. Live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. News Talk KZRG. Depend on it. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
8:10 is the current KZRG news time. Chris Plant will be joining us in less than an hour at 9. The Chris Plant Show will, anyway. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton at 11. Sean Hannity at 2. Mark Levin at 5. And then, of course, we have The Vince Show coming to you live every single weeknight starting at 8 on KZRG's airwaves. Joe Pags at 11, coast to coast at midnight on AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk KZRG.
On the KZRG Storm Tracker radar, we have one lonesome, isolated shower. It's in Cherokee County, Kansas. It's so isolated, and it's so lonely. Ted, it's looking for you. Partly sunny and hot with the high today of 97. It feels like we'll be about 102 with the heat index.
Is that what it feels like when I rib and make fun of you, Steve?
Yes.
Feels bad, man.
Tonight we've got a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with the low down to 74. Then tomorrow, more chances of isolated, poor lonesome showers and thunderstorms. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 99. Heat index topping out as high as 105 for tomorrow. That's all according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
That's exactly right. Well, last night was the big primary elections. News Talk KZRG, we were here all night. We were covering it live for you. And you can see those results live currently on KZRG's election headquarters, which is free to check out at newstalkkzrg.com/elections. We've been talking about this all this morning, but in case you missed it, some pretty major events took place last night. On the Kansas side, there was a huge smackdown.
That's right, for governor on the Republican side, with 43% of the Republican vote. Ty Masterson took a second to third try on
Steve,
that.
I got to say, your Joe Biden impression is getting better and better day by day.
I'm working on it. Ty Masterson was the winner of the Republican primary. He's going to be facing Cindy Holscher on the Democratic side. She got 49% of the Democratic vote yesterday, so congratulations to them. They're going to be taking on each other in the November general election.
Phrasing.
Kansas Secretary of State Pat Proctor got 100% of the vote on the Republican side because they were the only one running. On the Democratic side, Jennifer Day got 85% of the Democratic primary vote with 174,813 votes. They'll be facing each other in November. For Attorney General in the state of Kansas, Chris Kobach got 100% of the Republican vote, and they'll be facing Chris Mann with 100% of the Democratic vote because of the primary election. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins in November on that one as well.
Yeah. And taking a look on the Missouri side, one of the big races we were following was for Missouri State Senate District 32, which covers Jasper and Newton County in Jefferson City. And, of course, that was the race between Jill Carter and Ellen Nichols, a race that, boy howdy, talk about hard fought. That was an intense advertising campaign from both sides of that little race there.
Oh, especially when you throw in all the different packs for each other. Wow.
Oh, yeah. But in the end, Missouri State Senator Jill Carter did remain victorious over Dr. Ellen Nichols. Jill Carter had more than 18,000 votes. Ellen Nichols just under 8,000 votes, which if you want to break it down percentage-wise, which I know that's how some people's brains work, Jill Carter had just about 70% of Republican votes. Dr. Ellen Nichols had just about 30% of Republican votes. So Jill Carter will be facing off against Democrat Emma Curl in the November election. Emma was the only Democrat running, so that's just a wash. She's going to take it. Moving on, another big state Senate race we were watching for you was Senate District 20, which represents the north of the Joplin metro area. That was a pretty wild race. Lori Rook, a Republican, taking on incumbent Curtis Trent, also a Republican. And Lori Rook was victorious with more than 16,000 votes. Curtis Trent, more than 14,000 votes. Lori had about 53% of the Republican vote, and Curtis had about 47% of the Republican vote. Now, what's kind of interesting to me about that, Steve, is Curtis Trent was actually one of the writers of Missouri's Amendment 5, which was also handedly defeated. So Curtis Trent, not only was his amendment defeated in this primary, but his incumbency was also defeated. So kind of a rough night for good old Trenty boy.
It kind of makes you wonder if one had a helping hand in the other.
I was wondering the same thing, Steve.
Could have happened.
Which brings us to our next point, and that is the fact that, Missouri's Amendment 4 and 5 were, in fact, defeated last night. 4 had to do with initiative petition reform, that is citizen-led initiatives onto the ballot to change the Missouri state constitution. Missouri lawmakers wanted to make it more difficult for citizen-led groups to do that. The citizens of the state of Missouri disagreed with the state legislature. They said absolutely not, and it was a complete beatdown. Missouri Amendment 4 had 80% of a no vote. 80% of all voters said no to changing the rules about initiative petitions in the state of Missouri. Amendment 5 had to do with repealing the state income tax and replacing it with an expanded sales tax base. Amendment 5 also handedly defeated. 83% of voters last night in Missouri said no to Amendment 5.
I think one of the problems with that was it was like the Nancy Pelosi thing. You had to read it after it was passed if it got passed.
Right.
Because they had not put down there what sales taxes would actually go in. Now, of course, all the PAC money that was running all the commercials basically named what they thought would happen. But I think that was probably one of the problems because they were not specific on what taxes would be replacing what tax.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with that assessment. Absolutely. So, by the way, there was a whole heck of a lot of races last night. We're talking, 25 different races with 93 different candidates across 3 states. So, whole heck of a lot going on there. You can go to newstalkkzrg.com, at which point you can go to the election headquarters and take a look at all the results for all the races if you didn't hear us talk about the one you were interested in. That being said, we do need to get to a little bit of news this morning. The Joplin City Council has adopted new regulations for data centers. Council members unanimously approved rules covering noise, water use, wastewater emissions, generators, and other potential effects for large data center facilities in the city limits of the city of Joplin.
All right.
Yeah. So what are these new rules? Well, one of them, one of the ordinances set, or new rules rather, it sets a 45 decibel noise limit, meaning if you want to build a data center, it cannot go louder than 45 decibels as measured at the property line next to residential spaces. So if you build a data center near residential spaces, if I'm a house next to your data center, it cannot be louder than 45 decibels at my house. Now, just to put that into perspective, I'm sure you don't know how loud is 45 decibels. It's about this loud. Ah! No, I'm just kidding. No, 45 decibels, to put it into perspective, your average traditional factory. Just think of any old factory from Tom and Jerry or Bob the Builder, any old cartoonish factory sits at anywhere between 75 to 100 decibels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So think on the louder end. And by the way, specific like large machinery can be as high as 120 decibels.
I've had neighbors that were louder than that with their stereos in the back in the day. Had their music turned up too loud.
So even when Steve was a young man, he was an old curmudgeon going, "Turn that music down, you youngsters. Some of us are trying to sleep at 4 in the afternoon."
In my case, it was turn it up, but you're right.
Oh, yeah. See how quickly his story changes.
Turn it up.
45 decibels is the new noise limit. That in the city of Joplin. Data centers will also be required to pre-treat wastewater and submit pollutant scans along with comply with state and federal emission standards. I think that's great.
I do too.
That way it doesn't the city and local municipalities, county municipalities, local water treatment facilities don't have the burden of cleaning up these data centers' sludge. The data center has to clean it up themselves. They got to pre-treat it. I think that's great. Now let's take a look at what they decided on backup generators. Backup generators, under these new rules that the Joplin City Council unanimously adopted on Monday, said that data center backup generators must meet Tier 4 standards in order to operate. Now, to put in perspective, Tier 4 is better than Tier 3. What's the difference? Well, Tier 4 cuts particulate matter by 90% and nitrogen oxides by up to 50% compared to Tier 3. So that's obviously better in terms of air pollution and particulate pollution and, carbon and nitrogen oxide pollution, clearly. So, new requirement. Hey, that's great, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So,
especially when you put it in plain English like that.
Yeah. Or, I could also put it into Tetanese. Would you like me to translate it to Tetanese, Steve?
I think Spanish would be better.
That is what Tetanese is.
Oh, okay.
I'm renaming the entire language of Spanish to Tetanese.
Let's hear it in Tetanese.
Mm-hmm. Hola, ¿dónde está? Todos los días son días de papas fritas.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Nailed it. Here's the dealio. With all this data center talk, something that has frustrated me about politicians when asked about it is they all seem to just say we need a moratorium. We need to pause the production of data centers.
Put a hold on it.
Hold the phone, and I'm okay with that. I would love to pause data centers, but the way that politicians talk about it is like that's the end all be all. Like, well, we paused data center production. That's great.
But we'll go ahead and improve it later.
No, that is not the end of the story.
Right.
The point of a pause is to give local municipalities and cities and counties time to create actual protections for citizens. The pause is not the goal. And all the politicians that we interviewed on this morning show, we asked every single one of them about data centers, and without fail, all of them said, or at least referenced, pausing. They said almost none of them referenced anything about specific rules. This is great. Big shout out to the city of Joplin for saying, hey man, pause schmoz. Let's actually figure out real rules here. And that isn't just to the credit of the Joplin City Council, big shout out to them, but that's also a big credit to Troy Bolander's committee, the Department of Planning and Zoning, that citizen-led group that got together, that read these studies, that interviewed these other towns and municipalities across the country that have data centers, that implemented their rules, what works, what doesn't, what do we recommend, what do you think would work here? Huge shout out to all those involved to actually be more proactive about fighting this data center issue, or maybe not even fighting it, but simply finding a more human-friendly solution to the data center issue than just simply saying, pause. Let's just pause it. Big shout out to the city of Joplin, to Troy Bolander, to, the city council, to all the citizens on the committees that did this. There's still a lot of work to be done. No
That's
question
true.
about it.
Very much so. True.
But this was a really positive step towards making tangible, or rather towards tangible solutions, tangible results to a very real issue. I think that's awesome. But what are your thoughts? Text us at 417-782-1310.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
Missouri voters overwhelmingly rejecting a ballot measure to eliminate the state's individual income tax and authorize more state sales taxes. Of more than 1 million votes cast, a little more than 83% rejected the measure, with a little more than 16% voting in favor of it.
Number 2.
Likewise, Missouri voters rejecting a measure making it harder to pass citizen-led constitutional amendments. 80% of the voters said no, with only 20% supporting the measure. Had this measure been in place in the past, sports gambling, legalized marijuana, and abortion would not have passed.
Number 1.
In a hotly contested primary race, Missouri State Senator Jill Carter proving victorious over Republican challenger Ellen Nichols. Carter garnered just over 69% of the vote, with Nichols securing just over 30%. Carter will now be taking on Democrat Emma Curl in November.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What surprised you about last night's election results? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page. Text us at 417-782-1310. Leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Totally free to download in the App Store or Google Play Store. Stop on by our studio. We're on 32nd Street in Joplin, right by Food for Less. You can pop in and say hi. I promise I won't bite. I can't make that promise on behalf of Steve, though. He has a tendency of gnawing. So, visit us at your own risk, of course. But there's all sorts of ways you can get in contact with us.
Chomp.
Coming up in less than 5 minutes, a look at technology with Kim Commando on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front that's going to hang out for a while. Right now, best chances for heavier rain and thunderstorms to our northeast, where there are some flood watches. Maybe some isolated severe weather, too.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Ted, this is interesting. Sarisa, the words Ted and interesting are very frequently in sentences together. Very, very frequently. In fact, if you were to do one of those word bubbles where you put a bunch of words in and then the word that is said the most is the biggest type thing, Ted and interesting are probably the same size. Just saying. Sir said, Ted, this is interesting. I looked up if Janine could be a masculine French name, and it's a feminine version of the name Jean, which is the French equivalent of John. But Jean is ultimately derived from Hebrew word, which means God is gracious. I think that's just crazy interesting given the circumstances under which he was arrested. Yeah, here's my thing with that, is like every name on planet Earth is like God is great. Like, Theodore is gift from God. What does the name Theodore mean?
Stuck on himself.
Yeah. Listen, the name Theodore means gift of God or divine gift. So, like, I just feel like every name is, like, something God-related. Like, I don't know. I don't put too much stock in, like, oh, the stars aligned with the name. It's like, no, like, the odds of someone's name being something to do with God is pretty high, you know? I'm not too convinced on that one. Austin said, did you just ask where the beans wait, what? Did you ask where are the beans, Ted? No, I said, todos los días son días de papas fritas, which is Spanish for every day is the day of the French fry. I also said, ¿Dónde está la casa de Pepe? Where is Pepe's house?
Where's Pepe?
No, where is Pepe's house?
I know, but where is Pepe?
¿Dónde está Pepe?
So you can find his house.
Now, if I were to say, ¿De dónde es Pepe? That would mean, where is Pepe from?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And if I were to say something along the name, or something along the lines of, yo soy Ted, y soy muy inteligente, y muy guapo. That is, I am Ted.
And you are not.
I'm very smart, and I'm very handsome.
Boy, are you so full of yourself this morning.
Mm-hmm. What else do I got for you, Spanish-wise? Let's see.
Steve Scott is never going to invite you to family game night.
Steve está muy bajo y feo. That is, do you know what that is?
No.
Steve is very short and ugly.
Hey.
Ted está, I guess I'm Ted. Ted estoy, yo soy muy alto y guapo. I'm very tall and handsome.
Okay, I heard frijoles.
Frijoles. Yeah, no. Papas fritas. No fairies. I think it's rule of fairies. I've been a while since I looked it up. Wait, what? Fairies? It turns out the best filter you can give your kid is the word no. Don't miss out and be left behind. Get my free newsletter right now at getkim.com. Hi there, I'm Kim Commando. Oh, you're talking about your name? What does the name Avery mean? The name Avery means ruler of the elves.
Well, at least it wasn't ruler of the goddess.
Ruler of the elves or the elf council. I like elves. You should go by, hi, I'm Avery, ruler of the elf council. That should be how you introduce yourself. Let's try Steve. What does the name Steve mean? Steve, oh, here you go, Steve. According to AI, so take it with a grain of salt, Steve is a masculine given name.
Wow, masculine.
Of Greek origin meaning crown, garland, or wreath of honor. It is primarily used as a short form for the nickname of Stephen or Stefan. Hey, there's something.
Hey, join me, Sean Hannity, every weekday, 2 to 5. It's all happening right here on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
At 8:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
Jill Carter wins.
Fate of Missouri Amendment.
Kansas Amendment fails.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG topping out at 97. Could feel like 102 today. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic following sports. That will be at 8:38. Clouds 77 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 78 in Webb City, 78 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk, KZRG.
Jill Carter is staying. The Jasper and Newton County State Senator easily won the Republican primary in Missouri's 32nd Senate District, defeating challenger Dr. Ellen Nichols. Carter got nearly 70% of the Republican vote. The race was closely watched across southwest Missouri because Nichols is the wife of former state Senator Bill White, whom Carter had defeated in the 2020 Republican primary.
4 and 5 failed. Missouri voters sending a strong message yesterday, rejecting both Amendments 4 and 5 by wide margins. 4 would have created the nation's most difficult standard for citizen-led initiatives to change the state constitution. 5 would have phased out the individual income tax and would have allowed lawmakers to expand the sales tax to any goods or services, and it would have given them 5 years to determine how to get that done. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe, who had strongly supported both amendments, said the outcome would not end efforts on those issues.
Meanwhile, Kansas voters rejected a measure that would have allowed them to vote on Supreme Court justices. Spending on broadcast and digital advertising for this issue reached nearly $13 million, with opponents spending about $9 million of that. The governor now currently appoints the justices from among 3 finalists selected by a nominating commission with no role for the Republican-controlled legislature. But the measure's backers had hoped that if they were successful in passing this measure, they could start electing conservative justices as early as 2028.
Cloudy, 78, 8:33. News Talk, KZRG.
A bitter rematch for a congressional seat in Missouri's 1st District has been decided with a major blow to a progressive candidate.
Congressman Wesley Bell has won a rematch in the Democratic primary against former Congresswoman Cori Bush, telling supporters one big issue needs to be addressed.
We need to make certain that our voices are heard loudly and clearly, that November elections are coming up. And Americans want to see these health care costs addressed and more access to health care.
Bell will face Republican Paul Berry III and Libertarian Tom Schmitz in the November general election. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
A big maintenance project underway on 2nd Street in Joplin. With the story, News Talk KZRG, Steve Smith.
If you're thinking about driving on the Vernon Sigers Viaduct that links Easttown to downtown Joplin, you'll need to make other plans. The bridge closed to all traffic on Monday of this week to allow crews to complete repairs to the bridge's critical expansion joints. The bridge is closed now to vehicular and pedestrian traffic for the duration of the project. Detour signs are up. The viaduct is expected to reopen on Friday, August 14th. Steve Smith, News Talk, KZRG.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Clouds, 78, going on 8:35. News Talk, KZRG.
AI surveillance pricing. Sounds scary, right? Well, Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley explains how it works and why he thinks it's a huge scam.
What if I told you that a store like Staples charged more online based on your IP address or on your proximity to arrival? What if I told you that Target's shopping app tracked your location real time in order to charge you as much as $150 more for a vacuum the moment that you enter their store?
Hawley says your personal data should never be used against you to charge you more for the stuff you need.
Are we really ready to build data centers? Do we have all of the parts?
Reuters reports the Trump administration is working on drafting a ban of Chinese-manufactured components for data centers, such as optical transceivers, devices that send and receive data over fiber optic cables at incredibly high speeds. There are real reasons for this. Firstly, electronic goods manufactured in countries not entirely friendly pose a security risk. What if they can be used in espionage or could just simply be remotely shut down? Such things would be crippling. Secondly, simply relying on a foreign country for much-needed infrastructure puts one at a disadvantage. Eben Brown, Fox News.
How'd the Royals do last night? With the answer to that question, Joe Morgan.
Bobby Witt Jr. made a massive splash in his return to the Kansas City lineup last night. Witt picked up 3 hits and drove in 2 to power the Royals past the Minnesota Twins 8-2. Kansas City looks to keep that momentum going in Game 3 tonight with first pitch set for 6:40. Over in New York, a dream debut for George Lombard Jr. The rookie crushed a home run in his very first big league game, lifting the Yankees over the St. Louis Cardinals 2-0. Those two teams run it back tonight at 6:05. Catch the action on AM 1230 The Talker. And in football news, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has been staying in closer contact with the team during training camp. However, there's still no clear timetable for his return to the sidelines following the shooting of his wife at their Virginia home. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. It's free. It's available at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 9 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front that's going to hang out for a while. Right now, best chances for heavier rain and thunderstorms to our northeast, where there are some flood watches. Maybe some isolated severe weather, too. Also, that's probably going to be north and east of us. But continue to go through the day with the heat and humidity building into the upper 90s with the heat index just over 100. And some isolated showers and thunder showers, especially this afternoon through this evening. Sunshine back tomorrow, hot and humid upper 90s, feeling like 105. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic in the KZRG Storm Center.
KZRG Storm Tracker radar showing one lonesome isolated shower in Cherokee County. It's moving to the east, southeast. 77 in Neosho with clouds, 77 in Pittsburgh, 78 in Carthage, 78 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time going on 8:39.
Around here, a lot of contractors talk about showing up on time, doing clean work, and treating people right. At JB Electric, that's not a sales pitch. That's the standard. We believe homeowners in the 4 states should expect more from their electrician. That means clear communication, honest answers, respect for your home, quality work done right the first time. That's why we built the JB Electric Standards of Excellence, because anybody can make a promise. The real question is whether they live up to it when nobody's watching. From electrical repairs and panel upgrades to generators, lighting, and EV chargers, our team is raising the bar for what professional electrical services should look like. We're not here to be like everybody else. We're here to set the standard.
I'm Joshua Bloyd, owner of JB Electric. Our standard of excellence guides every job we do because earning your trust matters. Need it done right the first time and fixed fast? That's a job for JB. Give us a call, 417-647-3100, or get started at gojbelectric.com.
Hey, want a free checking account from Community Bank and Trust?
Free? Yeah, right. What's the catch?
Well, there's no catch.
There is always a catch. I bet there's a minimum balance requirement.
Nope, their absolutely free checking account is free from minimum balance requirements.
Okay, then I bet there's a monthly service charge.
Actually, there's not. Their absolutely free checking is free from a monthly service charge.
So when you say free, you mean...
Free, gratis, countless, liberated.
Wow. Free, so I could check my balance, pay bills, use my debit card, and bank from my phone
without paying a monthly fee.
Now that's my kind of free.
Absolutely free checking, the account that gives you all the features you need for 0 monthly fees from Community Bank and Trust. Get started at one of the local employee-owned CBT locations today or at CBT.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah, Austin is dead right. Austin said Steve actually means Ted isn't invited to Thursday game night.
Yes, that's
Steve doesn't mean wreath of honor. It means Ted isn't invited. That is very true, Austin. It was Elves. I know why I like D&D so much. You were a shoo-in. Absolute shoo-in. Rick said, rumor has it that some radio personalities' autograph could be had for $5 marked down from the original $10 for a limited time. Rumor does have it that some radio personalities are offering such a sweet, sweet bargain. Who are those radio personalities? Tom Watts of Classic Hits. Free plug for Tom.
Anybody else?
No, my autographs are worth $30.
How about Chris and Bobby down the hall?
Theirs are worth, they have to pay people to get their autographs. Theirs are worth -$5. If you get an autograph from Chris and Bobby, you get an autograph and $5.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning Newswatch on News Talk KZRG.
The Chris Plant Show joining us at 9 this morning in just about 20 minutes here, as the Chris Plant Show does every single morning on AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, at least every single weekday morning. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton crack the mic at 11, Sean Hannity at 2, Mark Levin at 5, The Vince Show with Vince Colonnese will be here at 8, and Joe Pags at 11. Well, last night was primary election night. News Talk KZRG, we were providing live coverage for it for you on our airwaves last night. And on top of that, you can also go to KZRG's election headquarters, which is live right now, and it has the results. The results of last night's big race for all the races that we were covering. We're talking more than 25 races with more than 90 candidates. Huge things going on. Steve, I know that there was a couple of major races that we were really keeping an eye on.
Yeah, that's right. Before we do that, though, let's check the weather real quick. Today it's going to be coming mostly sunny later on and hot with the high of 97. Heat index values as high as 102 for today. Tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, and then mostly sunny with the high near 99. Heat index values topping out at 104. In the election, Missouri U.S. Representative District 4, which is just to the north of Joplin and does include parts of the Kansas City area. On the Republican primary, the winner was Mark Alford with 77% of the Republican votes. On the Democrat side, Jordan Herrera. For some odd reason, that one's hard for me to say this morning. Jordan Herrera.
Is it normally easy for you to say?
No, because I don't speak Spanish very well, and I think that's a Spanish name, isn't it? Herrera?
What are you asking me for, Steve?
Okay, well, Bojorquez, that's kind of one. Anyway, Jordan won 30.4% of the Democratic primary vote yesterday, so those two will be facing each other, Jordan and Mark, in the November election. On the Missouri U.S. Representative District 7 side for Southwest Missouri, the Democrat facing the Republican challenger will be Missy Hesketh, and on the Republican side, winning the Republican primary, Eric Burleson with 73.78% of the vote.
Yeah, those were some big races. We also have what's going on, of course, with Amendments 4 and 5 in Missouri. They were both absolutely smacked down. Just a complete and utter bloodbath for them. Really, it was quite jarring. Missouri Amendment 4 had to do with initiative petition reform, which is regarding citizen-led initiatives getting onto the ballot for voters to try and change the Missouri state constitution. The amendment wanted to make it more difficult for that process to ensue. Missouri voters said absolutely not. 80% of Missouri voters last night said no on Amendment 4. So, initiative petition will maintain its current status and stature in Missouri state law, as it is, no changes. Amendment 5 had to do with repealing the state income tax and replacing it with more sales tax. And Missouri voters also did not like the sound of that either. 83% of voters statewide in Missouri voted no on Amendment 5. Now, I had my suspicions that Amendment 5 would be voted no, but I really thought it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be like 55-45. Like, I thought it was going to be something along those lines.
I was kind of like you. I would say the same thing as well. So it's very surprising how not close it was.
Not close at all.
Missouri State Representative District 162 on the Republican side, Roger Koch got 64.5% of the Republican vote. And he's running unopposed in the fall, so he will be the next Missouri State Representative for District 162. Missouri State Representative District 160. On the Republican primary, Cheryl Perkins was the winner of the Republican primary with 49.886% of the vote, getting 3,293 votes, and she will be taking on Angela Thomas for the Democratic side in the November election. And then on the Kansas State Representative District 1, which includes the Columbus area, only one person running on the Republican side. In fact, only one person running for that, Dale Helwig, was the winner of that particular representative District 1 in Kansas.
And taking a look back at Missouri here, a statewide vote, state auditor. State auditor is up for re-election. It's currently being held by Scott Fitzpatrick, and he took a commanding lead in the primary against Republican challenger Gerald Withstrand Jr. Scott Fitzpatrick had nearly 550,000 votes for state auditor, garnering more than 85% of the Republican vote. He will now be squaring off against Democrat challenger Quentin Wilson in the November election. Quentin got 70% of Democrat votes with a whopping with an H, that is, 325,000 votes. So that's what the big showdown for that is. There's a lot more. There's a lot of other races, a lot more races that KZRG has in our election HQ. If you were looking at a race, if you were curious about a race that you didn't hear us mention, It's on our election website. Go to newstalkkzrg.com/elections, and you can see those numbers there. Shifting gears here, though, we do have some other news that is not election related.
You've been saying election so many times, it's kind of gotten confusing for you.
It's become just a mush word. It's just mush. All right. A story that we've been following for you for the last couple of weeks is Eric Bieniemy. He is the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator, and his wife was recently shot several times in her home in Virginia. Now, allegedly, innocent until proven guilty, allegedly, their own son is the culprit. Boy, I do need some caffeine this morning, Steve.
Yes, you do. How many more energy drinks do you need
3
this morning? Okay.
Their own son is the alleged culprit. I say alleged because innocent until proven guilty. Now, some good news. She has been reported to have been taken out of the ICU, the intensive care unit, meaning she's doing better. Nobody's taking anybody out of the ICU unless they're doing better or they're dead. So she's not dead, so she's doing better. That's great. Now, of course, the question is, will Eric Bieniemy be returning to training camp for the Kansas City Chiefs? At this time, we still don't know. We still are not sure. Now, their son, Elijah Bieniemy, he's been arrested in connection with the shooting of his own mother, Mia. He's been charged with malicious wounding, use of a firearm in commission of a felony, and discharge of a firearm inside a dwelling. However, the court appearances for this 27-year-old have been postponed, awaiting mental health evaluations, which anyone that shoots their mother several times probably has some mental health issues.
Allegedly,
but let's just be a human being. That's probably the case. So, yeah, that's what we have going on. Just wanted to give you that little update for you here. Apparently, Eric Bieniemy has been in more frequent contact with the team, so he's not totally MIA, which is great. Steps in the right direction for both the team and for the sake of him and his family and their health. The fact that he's able to use some energy to communicate with the team means that he can, again, Mia's probably doing a little bit better. So I think that's awesome. That's always good news. Now, we don't know what's going on with Elijah Bieniemy. We don't officially know. My theory, I want to throw this out here. Pure theory here. No evidence to back this up, but just connecting some dots here. Men, you may not know this, but men are 1.5 times more likely to be diagnosed with schizophrenia than women are.
Really?
1.5 times more likely than women are to be diagnosed with schizophrenia. And men, statistically speaking, when they're diagnosed with schizophrenia, it is oftentimes much more aggressive and violent than it is with women. And schizophrenia often makes itself known in men and women in their mid to late 20s.
Interesting.
Here we have an individual, Elijah Bieniemy, 27 years old. That's mid to late 20s. And he's a dude. I'm curious if it's a schizophrenic diagnosis. Again, nobody has said that. It has not come out that that's the case. This is my personal theory that I'm throwing out there, but I couldn't help but connect those dots. I'm curious if that's the case because, again, nobody shoots their mother multiple times.
No.
Unless they're in a truly egregiously aggressive scenario where their parents are beating them or sexually assaulting them. Mm-hmm. We hear stories like that all the time. A truly, criminal situation like that, in which case the child might attack the parent, but there's no evidence to suggest that was the home that Elijah Bieniemy grew up in. No evidence at all to suggest that.
No evidence, yep.
At which case, it's probably some mental health issue. I'm curious if it's schizophrenia.
Could be.
What are your thoughts on that theory? Text us at 417-782-1310. KZRG News Time 8:52.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
Missouri voters overwhelmingly rejecting a ballot measure to eliminate the state's individual income tax and authorize more state sales taxes. Of more than 1 million votes cast, a little more than 83% rejected the measure, with a little more than 16% voting in favor of it.
Number 2.
Likewise, Missouri voters rejecting a measure making it harder to pass citizen-led constitutional amendments. 80% of voters said no, with only about 20% saying yes. Had this measure been in place in the past, sports gambling, legalized marijuana, and abortion would not have passed.
Number 1.
In a hotly contested primary race, Missouri State Senator Joe Carter victorious over Republican challenger Ellen Nichols. Carter garnered just over 69% of the vote, with Nichols securing just over 30%. Carter will now be taking on Democrat Emma Curl in November.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What surprised you about last night's election results? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page. Text us at 417-782-1310 or leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Totally free to download to the App Store or Google Play Store. And while you're doing it, go ahead and download the Zimmer Storm Center app too. Get your custom weather alerts. Gives you access to a live-time radar system. And on top of that, it's just cool to have. According to Consumer Reports, it's the hottest app to get these days. Gentlemen, if any lady in the 4 states sees you with the Zimmer Storm Center app on your phone, they're going to be like, oh my God, who is that? Who is that?
That puts me on their radar.
Boy, Steve, if I didn't want you to spike it, I shouldn't have set you up. Coming up in less than 10 minutes, The Chris Plant Show on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast, and it's a tricky one with a stationary front.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate it. I will be well rested tomorrow.